Traffic man, you're a beast. You got started right away, man. You came in and just started throwing stuff all over the place. You're the best, man. Thank you. And welcome to JK. Welcome to Tara. Fancy tricks. I'd love to know what that means. I'm guessing you might mean the transition that I did and the video and all that stuff. Maybe so. Hey, Danny, what's up? My older brother from another mother. Great to see you as always. All right, you know what? Let's just jump right in. This is Yoddah Live. Today is Saturday, September 6th, 2025. I know this because the internet tells me so. I am Yoddah, spelled Y-O-D-D-A-H, because film studios are litigious, and being that it's Saturday, the evening is devoted to Saturday chill. We are just here to relax, have a good time, rock and roll, do the stroll, all that good stuff. So let me start bringing my buddies up to the stage. I know Danny's busy doing his chapter-in-chief duties, but I'll send the invite out. And let's see, there's Traffic Man. I'll send the invite to you as well. All right, we got people coming in. Danny, how you doing?
All right, what's going on, Yoddah?
Another day in paradise, just loving
Definitely.
life. I got up early today. When I say the time, people are going to think it's ridiculous, but you have to remember that I live on the other side of the clock as everybody else, right? Most people are up during the day and sleep at night. I am up at night and sleep during the day. So normally I wake up somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m. And today, and closer to 4 p.m. really. And today I woke up at 11:45 because I wanted to be ready to see a live show that we were told was starting at 12. What's up, Traffic Man? How you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening. So there I was ready to join this live, and then I didn't see it start. And then it was like, okay, to be determined. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what happens. And then I wound up falling asleep again before the live started, and I missed it, but I was able to donate later on, so I was happy about that. Danny's knocking out some chili peppers. Thank you, Danny.
I like them chili peppers.
Love them chili peppers, man. You can put them on gumbo. You can put them on shrimp. You can put them on chicken. You can put them on rice. Put them on almost anything, man. Chili peppers are good all the
Bam.
time. I do declare.
There you go. Bam. Them chili peppers are gone.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Thank you both for being such monsters. So now we'll switch to Puffy Hearts so everybody can feel represented, I guess.
Puffy Hearts.
Yeah, why not?
Traffic
Puffy
Man,
Hearts.
it's your turn.
No, Traffic
My
Man,
turn.
he
I
was here
started the
before
shit.
you, and he knocked out the first goal. Traffic
well.
Man was Johnny on the spot today. He was here seconds after I went live.
Well, I bet he's got his piss pot on, too.
That's right. He's
No,
ready.
it's too
He's
cold.
ready to
It's too
rock.
cold for that shit tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's like 55 degrees right now.
It's funny.
Oof.
I know I'm going to sound like an old fart at this point, but I remember when seasons transitioned, right? There weren't these hard stops from between the seasons, and now seasons just
But where are
change.
you? Where are
Hello.
you?
Oh,
Because I'm in
is
Oregon.
this One Love? Yeah, you're on the
Yeah,
West Coast.
yeah, it's one love.
I'm on the East Coast, and Traffic Man is basically East, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Danny's
the
West
most
Coast.
eastern Midwest.
There you go. It's kind of funny
We have
because
hard transitions.
the Midwest is vast. Like it starts way earlier than people think it does. you would think that the Northeast would encompass more than it does, but it's like you get to like Maryland and the Midwest starts. Because
Right.
wasn't Maryland the Mason-Dixon line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the southern port of Maryland was the
Yeah.
Mason-Dixon line.
So
Yes.
that's kind of wild because that's way up in the
Oh,
Northeast, but they call it the Midwest. So fuck it. Whatever it is, it is.
I will tell you, for whatever reason, Tornado Alley has slowly been creeping its way east,
Really?
and yeah, we're
So is
we're
that like
we're now kind of
Oklahoma, from Oklahoma over to the east?
yeah, it's basically South Dakota to like northern Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Illinois, but it has slowly been encompassing Indiana, Eastern Kentucky, and Ohio.
Oh wow.
So,
Oh wow. No, the thing that seems strange to me, because I'm in the Pacific Northwest and we
ah,
have tons of water and glacier water and all this, right? But I always think in my mind, and I don't know because I haven't visited, that they are very dry and don't have a lot of water source. And I always wonder how did they get those tornadoes? Because you have to have water on the ground and in the sky to be able to build those
science.
cyclones. You know what I mean? So
See the
this is me just being a nerd. I'm sorry.
well, the fun part about Eastern Ohio, where I live, is we have the
Whoa. What
Oh,
happened there?
sorry about that.
Okay.
um,
Accidents happen.
oh no, it's okay, kiddo.
no, we have the kiddo. I'm 40. Come on now. We have the
I'm
oh,
50.
Eastern.
what an old man
I
you
am
are.
50.
We we
Oh
we are,
Wait,
we
boy.
wait,
have
wait, 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 wait,
Well,
the
wait, wait.
I'll
foothills.
just sit back
Okay,
while
you're
everyone has the
50.
age pissing contest. Go ahead.
Yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
There you go.
But listen, okay. So, wait, is trap okay. Um, do you oh my God, I want to think of a song that I was
Yes,
brought up listening to.
I probably
Um,
listened to it. My parents were boomers.
they were boomers. My dad was born in 1942. So it's like I got to listen to a lot of really good Los Angeles music growing up.
So
And
your dad was
dude,
pre-boomers.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in
oh,
the
he
what
was
the
way
fuck
pre.
generation,
Hey,
He
WTF
was in the
generation.
good generation where there was a little jazz and a little, you know what I mean? What they
Cherry's
would
here.
call
What's up,
hip hop
Cherry? Good to see
now.
What's up,
you.
Sherry?
Hi, Cherry. Sorry.
No
Yeah,
worries.
those days, not only like Little Richard's fun, like Tutti Frutti, oh, Rudy, Tutti Frutti,
All right. Great.
ah,
All right.
Tutti
So
Frutti,
you're having a live of
oh,
your own right now, and this is very interesting.
oh,
So
I'm not.
anyway,
No, no, but like the
so
music back then.
yes, absolutely. So Mason, hello. Glad to see you. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? JK. I hope I
Oh,
said hello. Oh,
JK grew up
Optimistic
on
is
the
here. What's
50s
up,
too.
Optimistic? We haven't seen you in a minute. All right. So we got the gang's all here, basically. Eddie just came in. Hi,
Yeah, it's
Eddie. Thank you
after
for the
dark
heart me.
already.
Everybody that gave me a heart me, thank you very much.
Oh God, I
You
forgot
know,
to do
this
it.
is a
Sorry,
fun way
buddy.
to start, man. Rip roaring, getting the numbers up. You know, that's what we need.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I will do my duties as a shameless self promoter to remind you to please share the live. Just take your index finger and place it gently on the screen, either on my nose or on my giant forehead, whatever you like, and your friends list will pop up. And all the lists that you made in the chat in your, messaging will pop up also, and you can choose up to 40 of those groups or individuals to let them know that Yodah Live is happening, and we would love to have them here. And then after you're done with that, then the rest of the evening, you will devote yourself, hopefully, to tapping the screen so we can get at least 100,000 likes. That would be spectacular. I'm a greedy
Do that.
hoe. That's my
I
problem.
agree.
That's not true. I mean, come on, 100K is perfectly
Yeah.
feasible.
Yeah, it I never really thought about likes that much. I knew, it was good to have likes, but I didn't really keep track of them much. I was not good. I actually learned from Danny in mirroring what he does on his lives. I was like, yeah, I have to stop more often and remind people to tap. And then one day I got 100,000 likes, and after that, hey, and after that, it's like, oh yeah, I kind of like likes, and sometime last week we hit over 126,000, which was spectacular, and that was in like 2.5 hours, which was just crazy. So,
I love this, and then I'm gonna build. Then I'm
J.K.
going to
Amaro, are you referring to the rap band Houdini? I actually worked backstage at the Apollo when they were one of the acts. I
Woo,
loved Houdini.
Oh man.
And the guy that was like the lead who passed recently, I didn't know this at the time, but he and I were the same age. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Anyway, so what's on everybody's mind on this Saturday chill? And of course, no politics.
No politics. I got it. But we can send gifts to other people, right?
Ah, yes. In this live, you
Yes,
are
Trappy,
allowed to
man, you
send.
can give me a gift now,
Yeah,
okay? Give me
you
a
can,
All
gift,
right.
Trappy,
you
man.
can, you can
Here you
send
go.
gifts to other people. Um, but remember, I am a shameless host, so I definitely want the gifts. But
Thank you,
whatever
Trappy,
whatever
man.
works for you, just to, the people in the chat, if you want to reward the people on the panel for being so gracious with their time and their effort to
Well,
make this live what it is, that's a lovely thing.
I definitely do not want to gift or do for Tara or Cherry because whatever.
All right.
Because apparently, according to the chat, I'm Cherry's arch nemesis. So
Okay. No, as long as there's no violence, I don't have a problem with that.
no, 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 no. They're never. I did for the first time in 4 years. I went golfing today.
Oh, cool.
I know that sounds very YT of me,
It
if
is,
you
but
will.
that's all right.
Uh,
You know,
but I did very well, and I'm going to try to go golfing at least once a weekend until the snow starts flying. But with the way the weather is here in Northeast Ohio, that may be anywhere between mid-September to mid-January. So
yeah, whatever works for you. I mean, I would
there you
encourage
go.
you to listen to George Carlin's take on golfing. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Yes.
YT elitist game using up land that could be used for much better purposes.
Yep.
Well,
That is an accurate statement.
Trump's using his for a cemetery there in Beth Midler.
Yeah, you know why he did
Yeah.
that?
I know why he did it. Yeah,
Why did you hear he did it?
why he did it?
Yeah.
Well, number one, isn't it because it becomes a cemetery once you put your bird plot in there,
Yes, and then he gets
and he
tax
gets
benefits.
Yep.
that's correct. That's
Yeah,
why he
Yep.
did it because
yeah,
he's a hole. He
yeah,
is
yeah.
a hole.
Yeah.
He's worse, because I heard someone say this a while ago, and I think it's like the realest thing that I ever heard about wealth. He said, if you're just an average person and you're living check to check, it makes sense that you're thinking about money, right? Because you have to. You have to be
Right.
strategic. You have to be intelligent about it. You have to be disciplined about it. You have to you have to sacrifice all that other stuff. But if you're a billionaire and you're still thinking about money every day, then there's something wrong with you. And
Right.
I agree with that completely. Like greed is such an ugly thing. It's such an ugly characteristic because greed is predicated on I want more. And the problem with wanting more is that there's no end to more. Whatever you get, you will want more. Whether it's, physical encounters with other people, if you're greedy, you'll always want more. You'll never be satisfied. Like I did so much banging in 40 years that it's been 3 years since I've been with a woman and I don't even feel it. You know, I'm good.
Right.
I don't have that thing where, oh, I need it, I need it, I need it, you know? And I'm the same with money. I'm the same with success. I've been like this for a long time. Like, when I played Boston yesterday, there's that one song, Take a Look Ahead, where he says, all I want is to have my peace of mind, and I relate to that so much. I don't care about indecision. I don't care if I get behind people living in competition. All I want is to have my peace of mind. And that's how I feel. It's like, you know what? I'm broke basically, I've had this window where I haven't had to work because I got a windfall from my mother's estate. But that money's going to run out soon and I'm going to have to go back to work and be just like everybody else. And, I still am not going to compromise myself for money. I'm going to do, you know, what what makes me happy. And as long as I pay my bills and I get to live indoors, because that's very important to me, I'm, I'm inherently lazy and I'm not built for living in the wilderness. So I like sleeping indoors. I like all the amenities of the first world. So I'm willing to pay for those things, but the number of zeros in my bank account doesn't affect me at all. I don't give a shit. We have some
Well, we
interesting comments going on here. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
no, Tara and I are in the comments.
Gotcha.
Go back and forth. But no, um, so my brother, he's been living in Chicago for a while now, and he came into town to visit this weekend. That's kind of why we went golfing in the first place. Um, and um, we there's a plot of property over by where my parents live, which is in kind of like the ritzy part of our county, and it's literally 1 acre of land. Okay. It has no development whatsoever on it, and it's full of trees. And they're asking a meager $145,000 for this 1 acre of land. And I looked at him and I was like, you do understand here in Podunk, Ohio, that's insane. Like I could see maybe 35 or $45,000 for that land. And his response to me was, well, it's what's the old adage? Location, location, location. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. So does it have like mineral rights? Like what's the catch here? Like why? And he goes, well, it's because it's right in the middle of these two developments. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's really neat. Um, it should still be only like 30 to $45,000, which even that is like to me is way over the value of what a empty property, empty land that you would have to clear should be valued at, especially at 1 acre, and it's what I've seen is that there's a lot of that goes around my area where you have these plots of land that just suddenly pop up and people are asking astronomical amounts for. And I don't get it. Real estate's one thing. If you have a house or some sort of development on it, I kind of get that. But we're talking empty land that is just inflated so much. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. Beth, the Action 4-27 says, I'm not religious, but I believe the love of money is the root of all evil. Yes, and thank you for quoting the Bible correctly. Most people say money is the root of all evil, which is a misquote. James wrote a letter to the Corinthians, and in that letter, he said the love of money is the root of all evil. And all they're describing is greed, right? The love of money is greed.
Yeah.
Someone said Skeeter James. I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
Auntie M says peace of mind brings peace. Yeah, that's what I found. You know, what I figured out about myself is I think what most men know, but they don't necessarily articulate it this way, is that I wanted two things in life. Up until 3 years ago, there's two things that I wanted primarily, essentially. Of course, the list is longer, but this is what I boiled it down to. I wanted peace of mind and peace of ass. And I
There you go.
usually never got both at the same time, right? Then when I broke up with this woman in May 3 years ago, what was 3 years ago? 2022. Yeah. So I broke up with this chick in May of 2022, and have never been on a date since. Haven't been with a woman, and I absolutely don't care because I have peace, and I don't need piece of ass anymore. If it comes
There you
along,
go.
great, but I'm not looking for it anymore. I still, once in a while, I check in on the dating apps just to see if there's any new faces on there. Because after a while, it's all the same people, you know. Um,
Sure.
and this other platform, the Book of Faces, has a dating part also, and I'll look into that and I'll see women. I'll look at them and go, oh yeah, that's a bangable chick, that's cool, but I'm never going to reach out to her because I just don't care.
Yep.
you know yeah.
Oh my God. I'm laughing my ass off. Go ahead, though. I'm good. Yeah.
Tara says the same thing.
Well,
OMG LMAO.
yeah, you know.
Joking, I'm a big fan. When's next video drop? Porter, I unfortunately I don't know what you're talking about. You said Skeeter James. I don't know what that means. Then you had a question mark after that. I don't know what that means. And then you said not joking. I'm a big fan. When's next video drop? Which is not quite English, but close enough. I still don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So
I did try to look up Skeeter James, and I'm not finding anything conclusive,
that's
if
all
you
right.
will.
Porter's experiencing his own live show. That's cool. Um, you know,
I
I'm up
wanted,
here putting out what I put out, and people take it any way they want, I guess. I'm sorry, Danny. What were you saying?
I wanted to tell you about. I watched a good movie last night with Denzel Washington in it
Oh,
called Highest to Lowest.
highest to lowest.
It
I don't
just
think I've
came
heard of
out.
it. Just came out, huh?
Yeah, it's called Highest
I'm not a
to
big fan
Lowest.
of Denzel's,
Okay, well,
but
it wasn't bad. It
that
wasn't
won't
a
stop
bad
me from
movie.
watching the film. Let me just look it up here. Highest to
I
the
have
number
some
two,
fun
highest to
information on
lowest.
him, by the way.
There it is.
Right.
Oh, he's dressed like a thug, so that ought to be interesting. And it's listed as a
Yeah.
thriller crime drama. All right, I'll check it out.
I just thought I'd let you know I watched it. It was pretty good last night.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, I
I give
know.
it I give
Listen,
it four
I don't want to
stars out
take
of five.
away from his career. I don't begrudge his success at all. I've just never been impressed. He's a decent actor, but I don't understand what the hype is about. He's the same in every
Right.
fucking film.
Well, apparently he was on Stephen Colbert's Late Show the other night, and he uh, put out to the world that his name is not actually Denzel, that his name is Denzel.
Okay. Well,
And
he
I
needed to
guess
do a better job of
he,
correcting that like 30 years
yeah,
ago.
right. Yeah, right. And the story goes that I guess his father is Denzel Washington as well, and so he, uh, I don't know. There's some point in time where his mom was like, "I'm tired of both of you coming in here when I say Denzel, so I'm going to call you Denzel," and
Okay, so Denzel is
that's
his
kind of where the
nickname.
name
I get it.
stuck.
I get it.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, too bad for him. Whatever.
It's a IMDb trivia if you need it.
Yeah. I love IMDb trivia. Whatever I'm watching, television, documentary, film, it doesn't matter. I'm on IMDb and I love to contribute to IMDb. I've given them over the years, I think probably about 15 or 20 submissions, and all but maybe 2 were accepted. And even though I know it doesn't mean anything, I get a little thrill out of doing that,
Sure.
because it really doesn't mean anything because they don't attribute the entries to anybody. They just have them there. So if
Right.
if you
Exactly.
point out a flaw or an anachronism or, which is also a flaw, or, some kind of, mistake in like lighting or whatever it is, or
Right.
you just add extra information, they just put that information in the notes, and then they don't tell you who did it. But I have the email receipt saying I did it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I get so excited. I always send my ex-wife a screenshot every time I do it. There's a part of me that's still the 5-year-old child looking for acceptance from his mother.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Let's see. What's IMTV? Oh, actually, it's M as in Mary, D as in database. DB is actually short for database. So Internet Movie Database, IMDb. That's what that stands for. And yeah, I think I have my podcast listed on it because they gave me a free trial of IMDb Pro, and I was like, oh, I couldn't get myself listed as a talent because I'm nobody, but I did get my podcast listed on there. I think let's see if it's still on there.
Love you.
I'm gonna search. This ought to be exciting or disappointing, either one.
I'm going to look it up
IMDb.
myself while you're looking it up.
All right, and
I'm
come on.
assuming it would be Chocolate Yoddah.
You would assume incorrectly. It might come up
Oh,
after that, but it's called The Persistent Rumor. That's the name of the
yes. Okay.
podcast. Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, you need to subscribe to that Traffic Man. I'm a subscriber of that.
I am already a subscriber. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
good
so the
man.
persistent rumor is still listed. And what's weird is like somebody
Ooh,
else.
there you are.
Yeah, somebody else, and there's hosted by Chocolate Yoddah. There it is. Yeah, so that is exciting. So let me try searching for Chocolate Yoddah. It should come up. Oops. CY. There we go. Chocolate Yoddah.
May I read the description that is on IMDb?
Sure.
This is a podcast about all the things you're not supposed to talk about at dinner parties,
That's
like
right.
politics, religion, money, and schmecks.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah. Because look at the things that people are confused about in America: politics,
Yeah,
religion, money,
money
schmecks.
and schmecks.
Right? So society has kept us in the dark for a long time. And those to me are the most interesting conversations for me. Other people
Right.
talk about other shit. Other people talk about, Magic the Gathering or whatever the fuck team that they're into. And that's all valid. But for me, it's these topics that I've focused on for most of my life. Because the first time I saw a Playboy magazine, I was 5 years old. And I realized, hey, I like what I'm
Oh,
looking at.
you missed some good shit.
Grandpa.
I saw 'em many years before that, but it's okay. You missed some good stuff.
Okay. So, and then there was and I'm one of these people that I consume corn pornography. What a
No,
dumb
There
thing
you
to
go.
say.
I would not
What
have
a
thought you would do that.
Corn.
what a dumb way that we have to talk on this fucking platform. But anyway,
I am ashamed that you watch corn.
yeah, well, hopefully you'll get over that. But anyway,
Okay.
you know, I'm not addicted. It never affected me in a negative way. I don't, like I don't subscribe to the notion that somehow it desensitizes you. I'm like, how could it possibly? I watch it every day and I'm not desensitized,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I mean, perhaps there's some people that indulge in it in other ways, and also I like vanilla kind of stuff. Like I know that there's a lot of porn that's really weird, and in some cases very aggressive in an uncomfortable way. Like
Right.
I'm like I don't understand why you have to shove someone's head into a toilet as part of the piston in the Volkswagen action.
Right.
Like well, how does
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
enhance things,
I,
And
I
that,
I got stuck in the washing machine.
yeah,
Like it's so weird.
it suggests a very tormented psychology that you have to
Right.
Yep.
have that kind of aggression in that thing. Because, whether you call it schmex or call it lovemaking, like Norm Macdonald said, I don't care what you call it as long as it involves my dirty cack.
Yeah, right. Which, a side note, I think it's very entertaining that on this app you're able to say my dirty cack, but you
Right,
can't say corn.
right.
It's so stupid.
All this hype in society about bad words makes no
Right.
sense. No sense at all. No, there's no
That's
logic to
why
it. There's no reason to it. It doesn't accomplish anything. Because if I say corn and you know what I mean, if I say unalived and you know what I mean, then what difference what friggin' word I use?
makes a difference. Yeah.
Exactly. Why even have to use the substantive word? Just say the word.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like if you know what I mean, if I say make love or if I say banging, I'm talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Why is one good and one bad? I've had women say that to me, oh, banging. Oh. I was like, who cares? If you call it making love, I'm still inside you. I don't care what you
Right.
fucking call it. I don't even care who you're thinking about. I remember when I was dating my second ex-wife, she was willing to admit that she was a fan of Ricky Martin's, which I understand. He's a beautiful man, like just preternaturally
Yeah.
gorgeous,
There's nothing
and
wrong
he's
with that.
also talented. He's actually a very good singer, right?
He
So
absolutely
whatever,
is.
he was part of Menudo. He's been famous for a long time. We suspected he was into men for a long time, and thankfully he finally was willing to admit that and live in his reality. So good for him. Anyway, the
Right.
point is I bought her. I was somewhere in the city, and I saw a magazine with him on the cover, and it was like one of those teen magazines, like a Tiger Beat type of thing, but it was just for him. It was
Yeah.
the entire contents of the magazine was him. So I bought it. And when I gave it to her, she was surprised. She was like, why would you buy me, something, that I lust after another man? I was like, well, I'd rather that you were looking at him and banging me than banging him and thinking about me.
There you go.
That's what I really told her, and she laughed. And that's like why do I care who you're thinking about? I don't care. It's
Right.
like Chris Rock said, just because he finished with you doesn't mean he finished because of you, right?
Yep.
So what's in your mind, that's your business. That's my business. I've been with a lot of women where I've had to go through my Rolodex of spank bank material just to finish, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, that's a thing. So,
That's why I'm so happy at my 40-year career, from 18 to 48 of being involved with women, because I have a lot of I have a lot of material. I have a lot of deposits in the Spank Bank that I
There
can
you go.
withdraw whenever I want. And what's great is that it's not like a real bank. When you make a withdrawal from the Spank Bank, it doesn't disappear. It's still there.
There's no overdraft fees.
There's no overdraft at all.
No.
Yeah, but there's no interest either. So see, you're
There's
not
plenty
getting
of
any
interest on my part.
Well, that's a different type of interest, It's not
Yeah,
compounded quarterly.
Compounding.
that's
There you
right.
go.
It's just
Compounded interest.
pounded daily.
There you go. It's not compounded. It's pounded.
Oh my God, my God. Good thing I got my headphones on.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know, Carol would laugh at this.
She is. I'm sure
Yeah,
she would.
yeah. I remember when I went to human sexuality class in college. Um, I usually don't talk about college because I only went for 1 year, but it was the best 15 minutes of my life. And in that class, uh, we talked about language, like especially like nicknames or euphemisms. And one time we talked about the euphemisms revolving around genitalia, the euphemisms revolving around touching, that stuff. And years after that, because that class made a very interesting impression on me. But years after that, you know how there's like things like choke the chicken, jerk the gherkin, polish the pole, all that. So like
Mhm.
there's shock the monkey. There's all sorts of euphemisms for that. But the one I love the most is shaking hands with the unemployed.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's fucking
old, but yeah,
priceless. That
yeah,
is
God.
priceless. And I think it was a
Uh,
Brit who said that, a British dude who said that. I was like, that's perfectly British. I love that.
it is.
yep.
I love British
Yeah.
humor. I have for as long as I can remember. I think I discovered Monty Python somewhere around like 9 or 10 years old, something like that.
Hmm.
And The Holy Grail came out when I was about like 11 or 12, something like that. When did The Holy Grail come out? I think it was maybe
74, I think, right?
77.
75?
I'm thinking 77. Hold on.
Okay.
Monty Python
Well,
and the Holy Grail,
while you're looking that
75.
up,
75, yeah.
okay, there you go. All right.
So I was
My
11
my
when it came out, but I don't think I saw it when I was 11. I think I saw it when I was 12.
my earliest memory of a Monty Python skit was the tennis court, and there was and John Cleese was playing the piano, and then the tennis ball came over and hit and like dropped the key cover onto John Cleese's hands. And then all of a sudden, he like his hands were no longer attached to his body, kind of thing.
Right.
And then okay, and then it proceeded from there, and everybody was like spraying. Okay, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that on television when I was like, I don't know, probably 7, 8, maybe.
Hmm.
And I was kind of like, holy crap, what was that? It really
Right.
had an impact on me to the
Right.
point where I vividly remember seeing that for the first time. And then,
Mm,
but back then we didn't have the internet as we have today, so I couldn't just hop on Google and type in,
right.
but now going back and rewatching that scene, it's just as funny now as what I
Right.
remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, to me, Python is evergreen. Like their skits, like the Dead
Yes.
Parrot skit, is
Yeah.
hilarious. Maybe he's panning for the fjords. Panning for the fjords.
Well,
Although
it was.
my favorite Monty Python skit, and it's hard to pick one, it really is. But I
Mhm.
just remember laughing all the way through, and it was the Upper Class Twit of the Year contest.
Oh,
It's
I don't remember
it's
that one.
oh my God, look it up. Upper Class Twit of the Year.
No, I
I
will.
once in a while I call people Upper Class Twits because of
Okay.
that, right? But Upper Class Twit of the Year, it's so goddamn funny. It's just relentlessly funny. And
I'm
and
adding that
and
right
there are
now.
times where I have a weird sense of humor and things that other people don't laugh at, I find hysterically funny. Like when I was in, this happened to me several times in the theater throughout the years, but something would happen on screen, and either I would be laughing by myself in a crowded theater, or I would be laughing long after everybody else stopped laughing. And none of this was contrived. I never did it on purpose. It was just like if something hit me, it hit me. The first time I can remember this happening was in the Blues Brothers, right? So
Okay.
the Blues Brothers is just one of those great films that there's no real purpose to it. It was
Right.
just a cash grab for Saturday Night Live, you know. But it's a fun film. You know, Aretha Franklin's in it. Ray Charles is in it. It's this whole wild cast of characters. And in it, they're fighting neo schmatzis, right?
Right.
And in one scene, there's a car chase where two neos in the car took a wrong turn and flew off of the end of an unfinished bridge. And as they were plummeting to their certain demise, they're not screaming, they're not yelling. One of them just turns to the other and says, "I've always loved you."
Yeah.
I was done. I was done. I was laughing for at least 2 minutes after that line. I have no idea what happened. I had to watch it again to see what I missed, which also happened to me in the Holy Grail. I didn't know the entirety of what was in the Holy Grail until I had seen it probably 20 times. Because I was laughing so hard that I kept
Yeah.
missing stuff, you know? And then as I got
Yep.
more familiar with the script, you know, I could listen to more of it, and every time, like, every time I would hear it, I would find out something else that was funny that I had missed because I was laughing before, you know. So
Well, my,
that's
my introduction, my introduction to the Holy Grail was in college at the end of our first semester.
mm,
Our automotive professor, if you will, was like, "Okay, listen, I'm going to show you two movies. They're completely different from each other, but they're my two favorite movies, and you guys seem to be like the kind of group that would get enjoyment out of both." And one of them was the original Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974.
okay,
And I will tell you that I love that movie just for what that movie did for the car chase genre. I have it on Blu-ray. But the other one was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
there you
to,
go.
to the point where I ran out and bought the DVD like the next day and
Yeah,
I rewatch it all the time.
yeah, yeah. I finally bought the DVD. I don't know how long ago, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. And I liked it because they had extras on it that I had never heard about.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I love the fact that like it was very much like Blazing Saddles. They just didn't know how to
Yes.
end it, you
Yes.
know. So
Yes,
they had that
exactly.
weird like breaking the fourth wall kind of ending, but it was still
Yep.
interesting. It was still very interesting, you
I,
know.
I think one of the parts that I uncontrollably laughed at, and I still uncontrollably laugh at, is when they're singing the show tune of Camelot.
Oh yeah,
Okay, and then there's that part where they step on the cat, and the cat goes ah.
right, right.
I don't know why it's so fucking hilarious.
Right. It's just that's what it is. Sometimes things just hit you. You know, I like how they ended that song when it's like, after, you know, on second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place.
It's a silly place, yeah. Then
And
just
that's it.
leave.
And I still say that sometimes. Like you know, I'll be talking about something. I'm like, yeah, it's a silly place. You know.
It is a silly place.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
that film probably contributed more to my language than any other film. Although an eminently quotable film is Anchorman.
oh yeah,
My best friend and I saw that together in the theater 21 years ago, and we still quote that film to each other.
yes.
I just watched it
I will tell
recently.
you,
It's still hilarious.
um, the one moment in my life where my wife looked at me like I was like a serial murderer, kind of like okay, like she looked at me like you have no empathy in your soul. What is wrong with you? Um, okay, so we're all familiar with MASH, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
The film or the TV
I
show?
The TV show, the TV show.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I want to say what when the original commander left the show, and then we got the guy from Dragnet. I
Hmm.
apologize about
Hmm.
names. I'm terrible with names.
Nope,
But
no worries. I know what you're
um,
talking about.
okay, so there's that scene where Radar comes into the operating room, and he
Hmm.
says, and you hear Alan Alda say, "Radar, put a mask on,"
Hmm.
and then Radar, okay, okay. So I had not seen that until probably 2000. Well, it was 2017 because my daughter was born and she was a little baby. So my wife and I were up all night. We were watching MASH, trying to, just all that stuff.
Hmm.
My original introduction to that was through Family Guy.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. And there was an episode where the family was doing like a reality TV show, and then everybody was like, Meg is boring. So they had to like kick her out of the show. And Peter, they met in a what is it, like a parking deck, and Peter said to Meg, he goes, "Ah, well, you should see the other way we want to, or we wanted you to leave the show." And then it cuts to Brian Griffin walking into an operating room and saying, "I have an announcement." And Peter says, "Brian, put a mask on." And then Brian reads, Meg's plane went down over the sea of Japan, da 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 da
Hmm.
da, right?
Hmm.
When we got to that point in the actual MASH TV show, I laughed uncontrollably because I finally got the joke.
Right.
It finally
Well,
settled in, and
right.
my
Yeah,
wife
yeah.
was
You got
like, "This is
you
what
understood why Family Guy did that. Yeah.
exactly." And
Right.
she's like, "This is the most emotional moment. Well, one of the most emotional moments in this entire TV series, and you're
Yeah.
laughing at it." And I was like, "Well,
It was a brilliant show. When I talk about
yes,
TV shows that shaped me, that one definitely is on the list.
MASH,
Because the interplay between the characters, especially the male characters, that really does illustrate how men bond with each other and all that stuff. And the very final episode where Honeycutt didn't want to say goodbye,
right,
and then they show it as Hawkeye is on the helicopter. You see that he
right,
spelled out goodbye and Stones. I mean, I was crying my eyes out at that moment. It was
right, right.
unbelievable. But it was like, yeah, see, this is like this is why it troubles me. This is going to sound like a hard left turn, but fuck it. It troubles
Let's do
me
it.
when women talk about men not having emotions, because it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've never
Right.
met a man that didn't have emotions. Here's the thing, ladies, we don't trust you with our emotions. That's why we don't show you our emotions, because you're horrible people. All
You're not
right?
wrong.
And when we trust you with our emotions, you hurt us. So we decide, oh, we're not going to do that anymore. That's all that is. It's not that we don't
Yes.
have them, we don't share them with you.
Oh, apparently I muted myself. Sorry.
Oh,
Um, so this is gonna sound really stupid. But I think the first time like I actually cried in front of my wife was when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl a few years ago for the first time since 1970. Shit, what was it, Grandpa? 73, 74 when they beat the Vikings?
No, the
You know?
first time they won the Super Bowl was 1977. Super Bowl number three.
Okay, yeah, yeah, against the Vikings there. But
Yes.
no,
but
77 couldn't be Super Bowl number 3.
no, no, it was like 70 because
It was
69.
in the 60s. The
Well,
first
no, no, no.
one.
Yeah,
I,
1969. They played the Packers.
Right.
Yeah,
and lost.
that's what it
Right.
was. It was
Yeah.
in the
But
'60s.
didn't they have it every year though? The Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yes,
I want to
after
say it was like
that,
72 or 73 they won, they beat the Vikings.
I'll
And
look it up for you. Okay, I'll
okay,
write
Gotcha.
it
okay.
So
down.
it had been a long time, and so you saw them
Yes,
win.
it had
You
been very
cried.
long,
Okay.
yes, I was very emotional because, and my wife looked at me confused because she's like, other than being a fan of this team, you have no connection to them. And I was like, no, the connection goes a lot deeper. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you as somebody who's not a sports fan, you know. And I was very emotional about it, and I remember her being weird about it, and I just kind of shut down at that point because
Listen,
I was like, okay, well, if you're gonna be that way about it,
listen, you reacted like every man reacts in that situation, okay? And
sure,
this is something that women don't understand about us. It's like, because and every time I talk to women about this, they all claim not to be this way. And it's like, all right, so we're all just making it up. Like literally every man I've ever known and spoken to about this has confirmed this. Okay?
yeah,
There's always one woman in his life that took privileged inside information and turned it against him, okay, and
right,
hurt his in an effort to hurt his feelings, right?
right.
So we go, well, why should I keep doing this,
Well, I guess
right?
you're not getting my feelings. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
will,
yeah,
I will connect with you. I will be in a relationship with you, but until the point where I'm 100% convinced that you won't do this to me, I'm not going to share this part of me with you. And it's a
exactly.
perfectly reasonable fucking reaction.
Now I will
Okay,
say, well, go ahead, Grandpa.
January 11th, 1970 was their very first Super Bowl win.
So it was
Okay,
three.
there you
So
go.
that makes
Okay,
sense now. Yeah. Or two. I guess that would have been Super Bowl two, right? Or was it three?
I swear it was
Uh,
4.
I'll tell you in a minute.
I love it.
I'm pretty sure the Chiefs lost to the Green Bay
Because
Packers in
wasn't the first Super
1969.
Bowl 68 or 69?
It was
It was
number 4.
69.
It was
Yeah,
number
number
four.
4. Yeah, they beat the Vikings.
The first one was the Packers, I think, one or the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of those.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think the association with this, for myself at least, and I like to think this of other people that played football, or at least tried to play at least at some like semi-pro level. You understand what this meant to these people. You understand the work that went into it. You understand the dedication, the shutting out of other people from your life because you're focusing everything on working so hard to get to this point. When I was a kid, I remember my uncle telling me that what is it? Don't what did he say? He said like don't dream too hard about joining the NFL because only like 1% of players from high school ever reach the NFL level. Um, and and he's not wrong, but um, just trying to put in that work and the dedication, try to achieve that level. Watching the team that you support make it all of the way is you get it. As a man, you
Yeah,
you
and
get where
I don't even
what
think
happened.
you have to go that deep with it. If it's just your team, if for some reason because you were born in that city or whatever the fuck it is,
Sure.
if you attach to that team, you don't even have to think about any of the other stuff. You're attached to the team.
Right. Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not like that. There have been moments in my life where because I'm a New Yorker, I do get excited once in a while when a New York team wins. Like I remember
Sure.
the '86 World Series. That's the one where that dude let the ball dribble through his legs, and
Yeah.
it looked like the what was that, the Yankees or the Mets?
I want to say it was the Yankees because the
Yeah,
Mets have been terrible ever
gotcha.
since the
So
40s. But yeah,
the whichever New York team it was, when that dribbler came off his bat, we just all knew, oh well, that's it, we lost, right? And
sure.
then when it went through that guy's legs, then
Yeah.
it was like, what? And then they
Yeah.
won, and it was crazy. I remember we ran out into the streets and people were yelling. Now, in my defense, I was 22 years old. So fine. Men are useless in their
Right.
20s anyway. But after that, I never really got attached to too many teams because quite honestly, I was an athlete my whole life, up until my 30s, and I love playing sports. I enjoyed martial arts. I enjoyed soccer, basketball. I played football when I was young, pee wee football. I love all that. I love playing sports, but watching sports mostly bores me, except for soccer.
Right.
I like soccer because it's nonstop action.
Right. Well, as somebody who comes from Northeast Ohio, in 2016, I remember um, the final game of the NFL Finals when the Cleveland Cavaliers were playing against the Warriors, and I had a couple people over, and then all of a sudden, um, was it J.R. Smith threw that three, and that was like the end of the game, and then seconds later, Draymond Green tried throwing a ball into from half court and missed, and that was it. And the Cavs won. Like the Cavs became the national champions. That they and we all just kind of stood around and looked at each other for the. Well, there was like this 10-second pause where we were like, to quote Anchorman, I don't know what to, or I'm sorry, Ricky Bobby, excuse me. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like watching a Cleveland team win something, like it was like, wait a minute, what do we do?
Yeah,
We proceeded to then drink heavily after that. But
that's usually the answer.
yeah, it's a Cleveland team,
No, I mean that's anybody that's into sports. That's usually the answer for what do we do now after the team wins. Oh,
Yeah,
let's
right.
drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Mason H
Oh
says
goodness.
basketball is nonstop as well. Yeah, it's because the game
It's a
has
different nonstop.
degraded so much. Because I played basketball and I was a decent player. I was like a utility guy. I was good on defense, and once in a while I could throw the ball in the hoop. But the game has degraded so much with all the rule
No, it
changes.
has.
And it's like every time there's a franchise player, they change the rules for him. Like, frankly,
Yeah.
like, Jordan got around a lot of people by slapping their hand out of the way when he was passing them and by
Yes.
hooking his arm on them, So that was
Yeah.
blatantly illegal, but they let him get away with it.
I mean,
Not illegal, a blatant infraction, I meant.
there you go. There you go. I will say absolutely, as somebody who's 6'7", who has always been pushed into basketball over any other sport
I
because
love
of my
that. You're
height.
tall, you have to play basketball. Why don't
Yeah,
they tell little people that
yeah,
they have to play miniature golf?
I know, right? Listen, um,
Because
Will,
we suck at it. That's why.
yeah. there,
Putt putt, I really
there's a.
suck at putt putt.
Oh, don't worry. Speaking of golf, real quick, I can get to the green in like one or two, depending on if it's a par four, par five kind of thing. But then I'll six putt because I can't putt worth a shit. So
Mm.
that's why I'm not in the PGA. Uh, eh, but no, there's a very famous Wilt Chamberlain quote, and I can't
I
remember who it
banged
was. There
10,000
was
chicks. Isn't that what he said?
close, close,
Was
close.
that him or
Yes, but
Frazier?
not that one.
Was it Will Frazier or Will
I, I,
Chamberlain?
I, I think that was Chamberlain actually.
Okay.
Somebody look me up on that, but
Yeah,
I don't
I got to
remember who
look
it
up
was.
how many he said he banged. And it was an outrageous number.
There was a sports anchor that ended up in a elevator with him, and he said the famous quote that all the short people among us say to us tall people, which is, "How's the weather up there?"
Oh
And
God.
Wilt Chamberlain spit on that man and said, "It's fucking raining."
There you go. You know what? Even though that's assault, I don't blame him.
Correct. And I'm going to tell you, from the moment I learned that, I was like, shit, I need to keep that in case we get to that one day where I need to actually do that shit.
Then you better hope you're not doing it on a midget. He's gonna hit you right in the nuts.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we have to say short people. So
Short people, yes.
Chamberlain, and again, ridiculous. The word
Yes.
MIDGET is a medical term. Everybody needs to calm down, especially the short
Yeah.
people who say, the little people who say, oh, the M word is just like the N word. I'm like, no, it fucking ain't.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because
Okay?
I have no problem saying the M word.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference here?
Yeah. That's a John Mulaney joke. He's like, I'm sure it's the one that we're not allowed to say.
Exactly. Right. Right.
you know
Th-
but
There's a lot of words
I
I will
remember
say.
I heard that, and someone in conversation said that to me because I used the word, right?
Sure.
And they were
Sure.
like, oh, it's the same as the N word. I was like, really? Could you show me the history of the lynchings of short people? Because then I would agree with you. Okay,
You're right.
let's
Exactly.
stop trying to hijack trauma. I'm so sick of that shit.
Right. Well,
I had a nurse tell me, this was on a first date. She said to me that the mistreatment of nurses is equivalent to the mistreatment of minorities in America. And I was like, I have to go now. Like, are you
yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the
Well,
way,
there's
Will
there's
Chamberlain
that
said he had relations with 20,000 women.
20,000. There you go.
Yeah. I don't think the
There's that
math works
famous,
out on that, just time wise.
whatever. I'll give it to him. Um, there's that famous internet video that when I was younger, I thought it was like uh, a real news interview, but it turned out to not be like it was fake. And I don't remember the actor's name, but he was on there. He's an African American man,
And
and
what was the show that he was on?
I don't. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it is
Okay,
now. But
gotcha.
it surrounds the N word. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the anchor, the YT anchor was like joking about saying it, and then he was like, "Well, go ahead and say it. Go
Oh,
ahead.
right. Okay,
I'll
yeah,
say it with
yeah.
you."
I know.
Yes,
I
yes.
saw
Okay,
that
you're
clip.
yes.
I saw that clip. I think it was Delray Lindo. What's his name? Damn it.
Yeah. But I I kind of keep that as like a line to draw, if you will, for people, because it's like, if you feel like me and you feel uncomfortable by this man saying, "I'll say it with you," and it's like, how do you feel about that? And if they're cool with saying it, I'm like, I don't need to know you. Like, okay, cool, fuck you. But um,
I remember he was in Cider House Rules. Hold on. Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo.
there you go.
That
There
was
you
the
go.
actor that did that. Go ahead and say it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I one time, Chris Rock was on Howard Stern, and I think the discussion was around the Chris Rock joke where he said, I love BLK people, but I hate N words, right? And I remember, I think it was Baba Booey, Gary Delbato, who said,
Yes.
or Delabato, who said, oh, it's so unfair that we can't say it. And Chris Rock brilliantly, he got serious for a second. He was like, so you need every word? There can't be one word that you can't say. You have everything else. You own everything else. You run this
Right.
country, and you can't have one word you're not allowed to say? And they all just shut the
Right.
fuck up.
I mean, I, I, I don't get it, where it's like, What's the point of being able to say it?
Well,
You know what I mean?
racists want to express their racism.
Well,
You
right.
think you think
But see, that's the
racists
thing.
you think racists like rules? You think racists want to be in a society
No,
where they
they don't.
can't express their racism fully? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think the backlash from the civil rights movement is about? Right? Ever
Yeah,
since the civil
exactly.
rights movement ended, white folks have been pissed off, and
No,
now
they
those
absolutely
people
have.
are in our government.
Yep. Yep.
It's coming back. I'm afraid to say it, but it's coming back.
Oh yeah, they're minutes away from introducing it. I mean,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
we're going to start seeing prominent people on television start saying it because
I
it's
don't
all
doubt it.
about because I was on a live the other day and it was all people who looked like me, and I rarely go into spaces like that. I don't like homogenous spaces, whether they're all white tea, all Hispanic, all BLK. I don't particularly enjoy those conversations. And I wasn't disappointed. This one dude, was talking about race, and it was about dating outside your race. And I made the joke that I don't believe in interracial dating. I stay within the human race, right?
There you go.
Because as I've said in the past, my dating history looks like a combination of the United Nations and the evolutionary chart, right? And I'm happy with that, right? I'm like
Sure.
Captain Kirk. I don't care what color melanin is. You could be green. I don't care as long as you
Yeah.
have that part that I enjoy getting into. I don't give a shit about anything else, right?
Correct.
All
So
pink in the inside.
I talked about that. This other dude was talking about how it's unnatural for BLK people to date white tea people, and I was like, well,
Based on what?
no, a bird flying upside down and backwards is unnatural. And the only reason I know that is because we never see that in nature, right? But there's been
Right.
intermingling among humans since the beginning of time. Like literally, there are fossil records that prove that Cro-Magnons bang Neanderthals and vice versa.
Yeah. Right.
Okay,
Right. That's how we
so
got the MAGA people.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
this has been going on since the beginning of time. In New York City,
Right.
there are couples that I know personally who, if they were in their country, they'd have to be stoning each other to prove their
Exactly.
differences. Like
Exactly.
I've seen Israelis date Palestinians in New York City. I've
Yeah.
seen BLKs and Asians dating. I've seen it all, right? Because
Right.
if you put people within proximity of each other, they are going to bang each other. That's how it has always
Exactly.
worked. That's why if you go to the Dominican Republic, you will see everything from Miles Davis, dark, dark, to Lily, white, white. Okay. In
Right.
my family, we have that. All
Yep.
right. Because the Dominican Republic was conquered by everybody.
Right.
So everybody came over and banged our women, and now we have all these combinations. Right.
Yeah.
So to say it's unnatural is foolish. But the thing that he said next is what bothered me, because I referred to what he was talking about as racism. And he said, "Oh, it's not racism. It's just pride in your nationality." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what the Triple K says, right? That's what
Yeah.
these YT
Yeah.
nationalists say. Oh no, we're not against anybody else. We're just proud of our own."
Yeah. That's that lost cause Southern. It's all encompassing. It's all the same talking point, and we need to get past this. I don't know how else to express it. Like, growing up, I remember my mother was very adamant that I need to find myself a nice young Greek woman
Yeah.
to marry,
By the way, Eminence,
right?
I sent you an invitation, so of course you can come up.
But and but then, like, on a side note, she would be like, don't date any African American
Mm-hmm.
girls. And I was like,
Right.
why? Because growing up through the 80s, PBS, all of the whole experienced through the 80s and 90s, it was confusing to me to be like, why? And then my dad would pull me aside and be like, I don't care what your mother says. If you find somebody and you love them, that's who whatever. I don't care. Bring them over. I'll deal with your mother kind of shit.
I'll tell
But,
you what,
I mean, it's a real
I
thing,
I had my heart broken one time by a woman who was like a second mother to me. I was really good friends. We were best friends with this Italian dude, and I spent a lot of time with his family, right?
Mhm.
And there were 3 boys and a girl, so 4 children. And in conversation, and this was after I had known them for years, been with them. I mean, I went to his mother's deathbed when she was in the hospital because she meant so much to me. But somewhere along the line, the conversation swung to race, and she said, "Yeah, I don't care if my children date outside the race. I just don't want them marrying someone like that." And like I really felt that. Like it abraded my soul to hear this woman who I love
Sure.
say that. You know, and the irony is that all 4 of her children married non-Italians.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's the same with us. Like, my mom was so persistent that we had to find somebody else in the Greek community to marry, that my brother and I absolutely married outside outside of the Greek community.
Well, I mean, that
Um,
suggests that you did it out of spite, though. Is that why you did it, or it was just happened to be that way?
um, well, I can't speak on my brother for sure, but I will say for myself, it was not out of spite. It was I fell in love with my wife when I was 17,
Right.
when I first was introduced to her, kind of a thing, and then I kind of just like, you know, I, she was kind of like in the back of my mind throughout my 20s and so on. And when the opportunity came, I was like, oh no, you're coming with me. Like, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what my mom says. I don't give a shit. Fuck
No,
that.
you can't. You can't.
you know
It's what Juliet said on the balcony: "Refuse thy father, deny thy name."
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
God damn it! I love Shakespeare. Jesus Christ.
It's so relevant to everything,
It
no
really
matter
is.
what.
It really
It
is.
really
That part of
is.
that speech was when she said, "What's in a name?" Because she was
Exactly.
contemplating the rivalry between Montagues and Capulets. And she says, "What's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Right? So that's
Exactly.
how I feel about race. Like, who gives. You know what? Race is a construct of racists.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me. I don't care
Exactly.
that you made this thing up of race. It's irrelevant to me. It doesn't really exist. We're
It
just
doesn't.
humans. That's all. The farther away people got from the equator, the less melanin they got in their skin. End of fucking story.
Right. Right. No,
So
that's
all
that's
these
that's
fucking vowel sounds that we
that's
use
how
to
humans
describe
work.
ourselves are
Right.
useless. Oh, you're Greek, I'm
Right.
Dominican, you're German, you're Irish, you're this, you're that. Those are all useless things. They don't mean anything.
Right. Right. And yeah, it's very frustrating because we're all the same people. Like, for fuck's sakes, like, stop.
Everybody's the same.
Uh,
We're all born with the
we are
same software, right?
exactly.
The what they call graphical user interface, the GUI is different for all of us,
Yes.
but the software is the same, right?
Correct.
So instead of focusing on the most profound aspect of our humanity, you're focusing on literally the most superficial part of us, which is our fucking
Correct.
skin, our eye
Yeah.
shape, whether
Yeah.
we have a vowel at the end of our name or not. Really? This is the thing you're
Right.
on about? This is the thing that's making you angry? You're the goofiest motherfucker I've ever met. Like,
Yeah. No,
racism is
no.
Dumb. It's
It
literally
is very
stupid
dumb.
to be racist. Like, really? You're going to see
Yeah.
another human being and just be like, ah, Why are you mad at that person? No,
Yeah.
they look different than me. Ah,
I don't want you around here.
yeah.
No, I'm, and I live in a very interesting area because um, where I work is one of my old coworkers used to say, we have big city problems in a little city package. Okay, because we're only like, I think it's 11 square miles, kind of a thing. So we're not super big as a city, but we definitely have our urban areas, stuff like that. Um, and when you walk 5 feet outside of that area, it goes from like, having community and trying to, build something better to, my uncle brother came over last night and saw my sister cousin kind of thing. Like it blows my mind the demographic we have here, because if everybody from Uncle Brother County would just come into the city for a minute and just realize it's not that bad. We have good things here. And you just come in here and have some fucking food, like
It's all it
come in here
is
and
a
enjoy it.
it's a concentration of everything you already have. That's all that cities are,
Right,
right?
right,
In the rural areas, easy for me to say. In the rural areas, things are just spread out more, right?
right,
But you have
right.
people, you have buildings, you have running water, you have all the stuff
Exactly.
that there's in the city. It's just all packed together more densely in the city. That's it. That's all it is, you know? And unfortunately, people's attitudes are very often dependent on their environment, because like when
Right.
I moved to Long Island, like just to give you
I was checking it
sort of
on
a
Google Maps.
simple a simple example of what I'm talking about. Um, I remember I was working in the city, giant multi-billion-dollar corporation, and every year they had a fancy uh, uh, dinner at the Tavern on the Green,
Yeah.
and we had the home office of that company was on Long Island, right?
Okay.
So that means that everyone that worked in the city was there, everyone that worked on Long Island was there. And this chick walked up to me and said, "I don't know you." And I said, "Oh, you must be from Long Island." Because what kind of a fucked up way is that to greet somebody? I don't know
Yeah.
you. How about, "Hi, my name is so and so. How are you?" Or "Who are you?" Whatever.
Right.
What's your name? Like a normal fucking person. But Long Island, there's parts of Long Island, honestly, that might as well be Texas. Like there's two counties, Nassau and Suffolk, and Nassau is the
Yeah.
one closest to the city because it starts right outside the city. Really, so there's a city, then there's Brooklyn, then there's Queens, and then Long Island starts, and then
Okay.
you know you start with Nassau County, and the farther you keep going east, and then especially when it turns over into Suffolk County, once you get to Suffolk County, it might as well be Texas.
Okay.
And it's not
I
that
get
far
that.
out of the city. Like you're talking about driving maybe an hour out of the city and you're in something that resembles Texas.
Right. You know, we my city has this reputation for being a high crime level area. And I try to explain to people that, well, yes, you're telling me that the densely populated area has more crime than
Right.
the
More people,
non-densely
more crime.
populated
Yeah.
area.
It's a simple
Right.
equation.
Well, there's that. And then number two is, it's like, okay, funny thing, we have the ability to break down that crime by demographic. And in my town, it's like 78% of the crime, and that's larceny, burglary, whatever, um, is perpetrated by YT people.
Of course it is.
And it's like, oh, so what is your issue? Like, well,
I
and
was
then of
just
course it
reading
always
last
goes back
night
to, yeah.
some statistics regarding mass events, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the FBI and some other agencies that looked into this concluded that 53.4% of all of those are YT people. So naturally, it makes sense to want to bar T people from having weapons. Chewy, what's happening?
Just trying to quote unquote enjoy life.
Why,
You
why,
should you
why,
should
quote
pick.
unquote, enjoy life? You don't mean that literally?
Well, I've been having a week, if I'm being honest, but I'm getting by. House
You should
flooded,
drop.
son. I'm a little stressed.
Ooh,
Well, what's the nature of your stress?
Well, the house flooding is definitely one of my big stressors at the moment.
That would be a big one, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. I think the insurance claims people are coming Monday or Tuesday because they got to like drill the walls and stuff to see what all needs to be replaced. I know at least probably both bedroom floors are going to have to be completely torn out. I tried the one room's carpeted, and I've been going over it with my shampooer, just using it to suck up the water, and I've sucked up. I think it holds 1.5 gallons, and I've emptied it 10 times, so 15 gallons of water I've sucked out of my bedroom carpet.
Wow.
That's a mess, dude.
Yeah, it's a dangerous situation because of mold and all that stuff. I totally get it.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
can't have my kid at my house right now because I
right,
obviously don't want her around that. I'm
right.
hoping, yeah, so they're gonna have to come in and then, depending on what kind of check the walls and stuff, do mold remediation,
Yep.
replace floors. I am like, it like literally might be enough damage. They might just be like, yep, not worth it. Here's a check, bulldoze the house.
Wow. I've
It.
known people that had that happen to them. Luckily, the insurance made it possible for them to live in a hotel while they relocated and all that stuff. So, you know,
Yeah, that's what I find out next week is if they're gonna, because if they go in there and there's the right kind of mold present, they'll be like, nope, can't be there. Go
yeah.
stay at a
Right.
hotel.
I got very lucky. I moved into a quasi basement apartment because the windows to it still you could see the outside, so it wasn't like a fully underground basement, but there was a closet that had mold in it, and I just took a can of Lysol and sprayed it, and luckily it went away. But I remember, like, I didn't, before I knew that there was mold, I was like sneezing all the time. And I'm like, I don't understand why I'm sneezing so much. This is wild. And that's when I looked through the place and I was like, oh, yep, this is it right there. And, luckily
Yeah.
I didn't have to go through the whole process of remediation and all that. The Lysol somehow worked.
Yeah, the biggest thing that'll determine how much to you is if the floor joists need to be replaced. I mean, because if they have to do the floor joists, I mean, then you have to jack support the house, drop the floor joists that run the entire length of the house. It's like,
Yep.
so yeah.
Chewy. Was this because of like torrential downpour rain or like?
No. So I've got my house is heated with a boiler system, and one of my pipes just like broke apart.
Oh,
Even though I'm
wow.
not like
Okay.
not wintertime or
Okay.
anything, so I didn't, I ain't checking any of that shit. But it
Right.
just came loose, and so the crazy thing is, I heard I was going to go do laundry on the opposite side of the house from where all the damage was happening, and I could hear water running, and I was like, is my like I thought the water was just like running into my washer and then draining out or something. And I'm like, well,
Sure.
what is going on? Is the pipe messed up or something? Because I could hear the water running. So I'm like, all right, I'll go hop down my crawl space and, check over there and make sure it's not like leaking underneath or anything. And I go into the bedroom that has the crawl space and I just see water running across the floor, cascading down the trap door hatch, basement completely flooded. Just see the pipe
Yeah.
just, the
Yeah.
pipe was popped open at the elbow and just water just running out of it. And I
Yep.
was like, so then I
Wow.
had to go down to the crawl space, chest deep water, go across that,
Oh, wow.
hoping there was no electrical that was open in there. I'm like,
Sure.
please, I do not need a shock right now. But so I went down, got down there, went over, got the water line shut off, and got my sub pump going again because it had fried out the um, outlet. I'm assuming because it was probably running constant, so it overheated the outlet and it went out. So yeah, I go in there and I was like, oh my gosh, and I hadn't been in my bedroom in 2 days. Well, I go into my bedroom and I step into the carpet, the lights were off. I step in the carpet and it just squishes.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, you've got to be joking me. So I believe the water that was leaking into that room started pooling into the wall, ran down to the wall, leaked into the bedroom until the entire bedroom was. So yeah, like the entire north side of my house probably has water running the entire length of it in the walls.
Yeah.
That's a mess.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well,
Damn.
I'm glad that you were willing to share that with us. I hate for men to carry stress without being able to talk about it. And it sucks, man. It's one of those things
Yeah.
where, honestly, that's the reason why I've never been interested in owning a home. Because we're sold that it's part of the American dream, but statistically, it just isn't.
You're
It's
right.
usually not worth it for people. Like they don't make money on homes most of the time. It's a good asset to
I
have for a
not
family to pass down and all that shit, and I get that, but like the expense of it and the permanence of it, like there's a lot of people that had to turn down job offers because they had a house that they couldn't, relocate.
I bet I am. If you look at the amount of money I put into this house, like yeah, I would be. From what I bought it for, was it last year I re-roofed it. I've been in the process of getting the electric upgraded. That's
That's
thousands.
a lot. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I had the old fuse panels and stuff like that, and so they're trenching in new lines and all that, and I'm like just stressed. And then I got to get up early tomorrow and drive to the Renfest down in the Twin Cities, which is like a 3 hour, almost 4 hour drive for me,
yikes.
so I can go perform a wedding, my ex-wife's wedding.
Really?
Even better.
Someone else's problem now, right?
There
Now,
you
when
go.
you say perform, you as the officiant?
Yeah, I'm an ordained minister, so
Nice.
Well, I call myself ordained clergy, but yeah, I've performed 3 weddings. Haven't done it in a long time, but they were fun.
yeah, I've probably done. I think I'm up into the 20s now, at least for weddings. I've done. What else have I done? I've done baptisms. Did one funeral.
Right. And which organization are you with?
The AMM, American Marriage Ministries,
Oh, I never heard of them. That's interesting. American
based out of
Ministries.
Seattle, Washington, non-denominational
Yeah.
church. So I'm registered, obviously, here in Minnesota. I haven't registered anywhere outside of the state. I mean, not all states require you to register
Right.
as long as you have the credentials. Minnesota, you just
Right.
have to register once and you're good for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I belong to the Church of Spiritual Humanism, and it's the same thing. Like I can do weddings in one state for without registering another. You just have to know. You just they give you a list of states and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
I got
have
the
the
deluxe
yeah, I have
pack, so I
those.
got the list of states with that.
I kind of,
Yeah,
I kind of wish I would have known that Yoda was a ordained minister. Would
Yeah,
love you to do my
I
wedding.
still have I still have the card. I carry the card in my wallet, the ID card from the Church of
I don't
Spiritual
have my
Humanism.
E
There
card anymore, but
and the that church actually is what appealed to me about it is that it's an old church, it's been around since the 1800s, and also they have a seat at the United Nations as the
Oh,
part of
nice.
the humanist movement. And there you go, look at that.
uh,
You got a whole
There you go, Joey.
certificate. I think I might have gotten one. I don't remember if I got a certificate, but I definitely got an ID card. So that's cool. Yeah, it was fun too. And for
Okay.
the first time I used it, I didn't even need it because my friend had already gotten married but he got married in Vegas, so he didn't have his family or her family. So they decided 5 months later to, and this was 2006, to have a ceremony. And he asked me if I would be the officiant, and I didn't need to get ordained, but I was just curious, like, oh, what does it take to get ordained? And the answer was about 15 minutes on the internet. 15 minutes later, I ordered it. I spent $40 on the deluxe package, and
There you go.
yeah, and then I even so that was an unofficial ceremony, but legally I did perform 2 complete legal weddings. One of them was my best friend.
Nice.
So now, the question is, Chewy, are you charging your wife, or are you like, no, I'm so glad to get rid of her, I'll do it for free?
I'm this is going to be the second one I have not charged for. I did
Gotcha.
otherwise the other, like I said, I know I'm up into the 20s now. Every other one I charge, usually I just charge enough to kind of cover like a little bit of food and gas. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm not trying to make money on this. I just don't
Yeah.
want to lose money coming out to you.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was the same way. The second one I did was a young couple, and I knew they didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, yeah, just throw me like $100, and so that was cool.
There you go.
Now I hear they're
One-
banging people out pretty good, like 350, 400 around there.
Yeah, I did. The only person other now than my ex-wife that I'm not charging. Well, actually, she did say she was going to give me gas money on Thursday when she gets paid. So
There you
I guess
go.
technically I'm getting paid.
So
So
gas money, you
There you
get
go.
food at the reception, you're good.
Yep.
well, it's a nice thing. It's at the for those not aware of what Renfest. It's the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, your
and-
wife is goofy. Your ex-wife.
You're definitely
she
gonna
married.
is what I'm
She
hearing.
married me, Yoda. Obviously.
Well played, sir.
That was priceless. Good
Yeah.
job, Joey, on that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I mean, of course it's not goofy, but I've always like looked at people that are into the Renaissance Festival, like, why? What is it about this that appeals to you?
Because they have delicious mead and massive turkey legs that are.
I am going to go get a fucking turkey. I'm going to get at least 2 or 3 of those bitches.
There you go.
I'm not into that whole genre of anything. But the food, that's what I'm into. Like, I'll go eat the food for sure.
Well, next month I'm going to Well, now I'm not sure if I am or not, but next month I was supposed to go to Viking Fest, which is essentially same thing as the Renaissance Festival, except it's
Interesting.
specifically Viking based.
Yeah, Minnesota has a lot of Viking descendants, right?
Yeah, because I mean we're all Scandinavian descent, so Scandinavian and Germanic descent, which is
That's right.
that's your.
And
That's
by the
your
way,
Vikings there.
okay, so next month, we have that bullshit Columbus Day, but on October 9th every year, I celebrate Leif Erikson Day. He was a Viking and he was a real explorer, and he found
Inga
North
Durgan.
America like 500 years before Columbus did.
And actually landed on the continent of North America, not just the
Right.
islands.
Right.
Right, not just the
Exactly.
Caribbean, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
I
Columbus was a
I
piece
have,
of shit human being. I don't understand why he's celebrated in America at all. And I don't understand why Italians
have-
celebrate him.
I was
Yeah,
just going to say, I have Italian family members that get very offended when you tell them Columbus was an idiot. And
He wasn't just an idiot. He was a horrible human being.
well, right.
He tortured
And-
people. He sold children
He sure
into
did.
schmeck slavery.
Yes.
And he was bad at his job because he wasn't trying to
Yeah.
find the Caribbean. He was trying
And
to find somewhere else.
What was what's the phrase they use? People with clay shoes.
clay feet?
Is that right? Clay feet. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Thank you. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like in modern times, we could look back and recognize that these people were not good. Like
By
we
the
can
way,
realize these people were not
the
good.
proof is that Columbus kept a journal. This is part
Mm-hmm.
of the Howard Zinn book, whatever it was, History
Well,
of
that
America.
when was it that? Because it was what, the 30s that they finally did the Columbus Day thing, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know when it started, but you
It
know
was because they started
what they
to
teach in
offset
school
Italian
to
hate.
this day, what they teach in American schools about
Yeah.
Columbus is based on the writing, a fictional writing of Washington Irving, the same guy that
Yeah.
wrote The Legend of
Exactly.
Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. The,
Yep.
so you're teaching children fiction. That doesn't make sense. It's no wonder Americans are so low on the totem pole in education in the world. Instead of
Yeah, and
I
they
teaching
never
real
so
go to
history, we're
church
teaching
too.
them fiction.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492.
Yeah.
That yeah.
I think the way it goes is in
Mm,
1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Yeah.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's
Now the
like, yeah, but
painted
he fucked up
Fantasia.
and he decided to use an antiquated navigational measurement because by then the nautical mile had been introduced. But when he was on his father's boat as a teenager, they were using another measurement for distance on the ocean. And so all of the directions and calculations were done in nautical miles, but Columbus applied his antiquated system, which is why he went off course. So
Well,
he was
and
bad at his job and a
if I'm
horrible
not
human being.
mistaken, his journey ended up leading to the what is it? The slave
Transatlantic,
trade.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
the
Yeah.
transatlantic
So
crossing.
like
Because the only thing Columbus was good at, which was very valuable back then, was navigating trade winds. That was a
right.
very difficult thing for people to do. Lots of ships were lost because of the trade winds, and he was very good at navigating them, which is why he got the gig.
Well, and not just to mention that, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe the 1492 journey. Didn't he go to Spain and beg them for money just to go
Well,
because
he
like
was,
he
I
had
don't know if he
failed
begged
multiple
them, but he
times?
was sponsored by the Queen of Spain. Yeah.
I
If he is Italian, even Italy thought he was a piece of shit.
Well, I was going to
yeah,
say,
right.
I think it was like
I,
3 or 4 different countries that he went to try to get this to, because he believed that, because everyone knew because everyone still claims that, oh, they thought the earth was flat. So
No,
no,
they
everyone
didn't.
knew it was a
right.
globe at
They
that
didn't.
point.
The
They
globe
just
had
thought
been
the
invented
ocean was,
long before that.
yeah, another great American or mistale of,
And
and
that's
they
because
just
of
thought the
Washington
ocean
Irving.
was,
That's what Washington Irving
yeah,
wrote in his book. Oh, everybody thought the earth was flat. No, they didn't. The
yeah, they
Greeks had
just,
already
Right.
proved that it was round. And I think it was
Yeah.
hundreds of years before that point.
yeah,
Oh
they
my
just thought
goodness.
the
It wasn't
ocean was
even
much
Pythagoras. It
larger than it
was
was.
I think it was Socrates or
oh my
Plato.
gosh. No, it wasn't one of them. I forget the Greek mathematician's name. Um, it's like Please or something like that. It's one of those extremely Greek names. But he was the one that came up with. It was before. God, it's late. I
All
apologize.
right. So Pythagoras
There
proposed it
you got it.
around 500 BC.
Okay.
Aristotle later confirmed this idea around 350 BC. And there were globes in existence by the time Columbus came around. So it's
Right.
just horseshit.
Exactly.
Okay. So there was now. So now they're naming Eratosthenes, something like that. Eratosthenes or
Gesundheit.
Eratosthenes, or whatever.
Christulus Messer. There you go.
Eratosthenes. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Eratosthenes.
Yeah.
Eratosthenes.
Yeah. I was gonna say there was somebody else that like confirmed that he figured out mathematically that the Earth was actually a globe, and
Yeah.
from that point forward, we knew how to sail the seas because of that.
Yeah.
Like
And Magellan was the
they were
one that actually was the first one to, like, use what they had shown him to do it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all, this is why Americans are dumb as fuck, because they're taught useless shit that isn't even true.
Right.
So I have a weird thing. Who remembers Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Sure.
Oh, party time. It's excellent.
Yeah. George
When
Carlin
you
was in
said
that.
yeah, when you said
Oh God.
Socrates, I just remember the movie. They're like Socrates.
So
So
great,
great.
dude. Yes. I still refer to him as Socrates, and people around me get pissed because they're Greek.
Right. No, let me tell you, the Greeks, like, especially Pythagoras, like, his theorems were fucking nuts. Like, how did he come up with that shit? He was the one, didn't he invent the aqueducts and all that? And that's what Rome
Yeah.
used to build the
Yep.
Colosseum. Like, the Colosseum had all these chambers that filled with water so they could raise the stage in the center. It's like, what the fuck? And
They
people think
like.
that the
Yeah.
Colosseum crumbled. It never did. Those bricks were removed during the Renaissance when all these churches were being erected. So it was
Right.
so solid. I think it's been around like 2,500 years and still in perfect condition.
Right.
And
Right.
meanwhile,
I mean,
in New York, we had to replace the Tappan Zee Bridge after 55 fucking years.
I, I was just gonna say, we've had aqueducts with running water for thousands of years, but Flint, Michigan can't get some fucking decent water to
Right.
them. Like it's like what the fuck. Um, I will tell you there is an American misunderstanding of how roads work back then, because I see it all the time. It pops up on the book app where they'll show the roads that are paved with stones and stuff like that, right? And people will be like, "Oh, the Romans built these roads 2,500 or 25,000 or 2,500 years ago, and they're still in great shape." Yeah, it's because they don't have semi traffic driving over them. Correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
Also, look
but
at the temperature. Like the climate for that. I mean, like when you,
right,
because I mean, even look at like northern, like Rust Belt roads versus like Arizona, Texas roads. Like
yeah.
we build a road, and the next year after winter, we got potholes.
Yeah.
2 years later,
Yeah.
we got potholes you can lose your
It
car in.
it angers me. It angers me living up here in the Rust Belt, especially the Snow Belt and the Rust Belt, where people have lived here their entire lives, and they're like, "Oh, there's this pothole down the street for me." Yeah, no shit. Like that's how expansion and contraction works.
But also that's planned obsolescence, because in Europe and I know I don't know if it's Europe or the Scandinavian countries, they use an entirely different material to build their roads, and they have a completely different
Yes.
experience.
So up here where I live, brick roads are still kind of a thing, but and how do I put this? Brick roads would last a lot longer than asphalt roads do. Okay.
Yeah, but
The
this
problem
isn't brick.
is,
What I'm talking about.
well, right. But like what I'm saying, where we live, like brick
Hmm.
roads, they have lasted. I mean, we're talking like I have black and white pictures where there's still trolleys
Right.
where the brick roads used to be, kind of stuff, right? And we're talking maybe every 30 years you might have to relay the bricks to level them out, kind of stuff like that. But we're still using the same bricks.
Hmm.
On the flip side, when we have asphalt everywhere, it's every 5 years, 5 to 10 years, depending on the traffic of the road, of course. I mean, we got to repave the road, and we're talking millions of dollars per mile, kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
In the
You know?
in the story that I saw, I think I saw this on television. They were showing how they essentially use some kind of synthetic material in these
Okay,
countries, and it's porous so that it doesn't accumulate water when it rains. It
sure.
doesn't freeze over when it snows, that kind of thing. And it's just because they're using, science. And also in America, there's a lot of planned obsolescence. That's how a lot of these construction companies stay in
It
business.
absolutely is.
Like they, I'm sure by now there are ways to create paint that would last a lot longer than it does. But then the company that paints the bridges in New York wouldn't make as much money because they literally it takes
Correct.
them a year to paint from one end to the other, and then when they're done, they just start over again.
Start all over again. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's um yeah. One thing I found out, as a matter of fact, today, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ryan Kelly on this app.
I'm
The
not.
young man, okay, okay. He makes the joke that his initials are R. Kelly, but he's not associated anyway. He brought up a story about the demise of the streetcar in America,
Hmm.
in mass transportation, and thanks to General Motors. And I was like, now wait a minute here. I'm kind of a GM historic buff. Like GM's kind of my main field of study when it comes to like automotive stuff. Everything GM, I love GM. And I was
Okay.
like,
By the way, they might
I've
as well
never
be
heard
the
this.
evil empire, but go ahead.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And I was like, I've never heard this. After WW2, there were a lot of cities across the United States that were using electric streetcars for transportation for mass transit. General Motors didn't like that because it's less money in their pocket for their automobiles. So General Motors, there was an oil company that I can't remember the name of that's no longer in existence. They were purchased by Exxon or somebody, and Firestone, the tire company, went together and started buying up all of these transit companies across the United States because it was less profitable for them to allow these things to exist versus having the American buy one of their cars, have their tires, purchase their oil for their oil changes and their lubricants for their vehicles. And it kind of blew my mind for a moment there because I was like, I never knew this. And that is why in major cities across the US, the streetcar, like in my town, my little town we used to have streetcars. We're actually suffering from the streetcar from the past because when they came through and removed the rails, they just removed the steel portion of the rails. They didn't remove the railroad ties, so there's roads in my road where you get this washboard effect because, 3 or 4 feet underneath the asphalt, the wood has now degraded so far that it's sinking, and you have this washboard effect all over the place. But that was part of that major buy up back in the early or the late 40s, early 50s, where General Motors was pioneered this and said, we don't want streetcars to exist because we want the American to be able to purchase our 1954 Chevrolet Bel Air.
Well, let me ask all of you this question. When was the first electric car invented?
1892.
I thought it was
Uh,
92.
It was somewhere
okay.
around there, wasn't it?
It was 1820.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But, and, so they were around before the combustible engine. So
Right,
it's another example of a giant corporation willing to do anything to make money as opposed to doing the right thing.
right. Well, and
Because the
and so
combustible engine is crazy compared to
it is.
electric, and then in the 80s, there was a guy that invented an engine that ran on water. And I learned about this through
Yeah.
the Joe Rogan podcast before he became a psychopath. And like I thought it was an outrageous story, but then I verified the story. This guy was at a restaurant one day, the inventor was at a restaurant one day, and he got up and started yelling, "They're trying to schmurder me, they're trying to end my life," that kind of stuff. And
Right.
then he was perished from the earth. And a lot of people firmly believe it's because obviously he would have put a lot of these manufacturers out of business. I mean, some of them would have been able to retool, but because they're so obsessed with profit, they don't even want to do that. So
We'll
they'd rather
see.
just eliminate the competition.
On a
Before we
mass.
continue, let me
Go
welcome.
ahead,
It looks like Christy.
Kristen.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you guys
There it is,
doing?
Kristen V. I'm doing wonderfully. What's on your mind?
Nothing. What are we talking about? I want to yell at somebody. Do we have any mag up here? I just really want to yell.
No, no. Yeah, you see the words over my head?
Saturday chill. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
probably in the wrong live right now.
It could be. If you want to yell at someone, I'd say drop down and find someone to yell at.
I can also have a conversation without yelling at anybody. I was just curious if there's anybody that I could yell at. That's
Yeah,
all.
gotcha.
What
So
are we
yeah,
talking about?
we're
What's up?
just we're Saturday Chill is devoted to nothing in particular except just having conversations about anything. So we've covered a lot of
I
ground
actually
tonight.
need to
It's
follow that
been
Joe
almost two
Rogan. Like, I
hours,
need.
so we've been covering a lot of ground. But anything interesting happening in your world?
So did this is definitely not for Saturday chill, but did you guys see the presser with the
Nope, nope,
vaccine
nope,
survivors?
nope.
Okay. So you that's what's wrong.
Kristen,
I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. I'm
part
sorry.
of Saturday Chills like no politics.
Yeah, no
Okay,
politics,
okay.
nothing
Hey, I'm just gonna
serious.
drop down and stay in the comments because
You
I
got
can't
it.
be chill right now. So I love you
Okay.
guys. Thank you so much for
I
letting me up.
appreciate that. You know, you got to know the reality of where you're at any given moment. So good for you. So,
If I may, real quick,
yeah,
Kristen, if you're still here,
yeah,
DM
she's
me
still here.
about the presser. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there.
Um,
I'm sure there's plenty of places to talk about that. Of course, it's horrific, but I'm just not in the
yeah.
mood.
So back to your topic about the hydrogen powered vehicle, because that's kind of where that was
Well, that
going.
was water. That was just water.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But what he was doing was he was breaking down the H2O molecule to separate oxygen from hydrogen, and he was using
Okay.
hydrogen to fuel the
Gotcha.
vehicle. It was
Yeah, I mean,
still an internal
it's only the
combustion
most
engine.
abundant element in the universe, so you know that sounds like a good idea to me.
Well, to that point in the 90s, Toyota, when they were still under the General Motors umbrella before General Motors sold them stupidly, they had developed as a major manufacturing company, they had developed a hydrogen vehicle. General Motors was like, nah, bro, we don't want that.
Yeah.
So that kind of got thrown away. In the very late 90s, early 2000s, Honda had actually came out with a hydrogen powered vehicle. And I remember some of the rhetoric behind it was people, when they hear hydrogen, they associate it with the Hindenburg. And it's like, okay, cool. However, do you have any fucking idea how volatile of a fuel you are taking from that gas pump and pouring into your automobile? You're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Gasoline is a highly combustible fuel.
Yeah.
Its
An engine
flashpoint is
runs
so fucking low.
essentially hundreds of thousands of tiny explosions to get you where you need to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the neat thing with the hydrogen powered vehicles were, their only emissions were water, basically.
Yeah. Like a
Okay.
vapor, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that never caught on, obviously, because of
I heard
the
some
oil
corrupt
lobby and all that.
politician railing against the idea of a hydrogen powered vehicle because he said people are going to have to buy more windshields because there are going to be more water droplets in the air. And I was like, could you just remove yourself?
Who gives a flying fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're so useless.
Well,
We're talking about preserving our our way of living on the
and
planet,
so
and you're talking about fucking windshield wipers.
and this might be just a personal observation of mine being in the automotive industry since 2002, but the quality of windshield wipers has decreased exponentially since around 2008, to the point
Fact.
where I remember where I used to buy a set of Bosch Icon wiper blades, and they would last me a year and a half living in the harsh conditions that I live in, where there's ice and snow and rain and all that stuff, to now where, I mean, it's probably 3 to 4 months I have to change out wiper blades on all my
Yeah,
vehicles,
yeah,
and so to that politician, he can eat it.
yeah. I
That's
mean, what
my
an idiotic
indication of
thing to
that.
say. But it just speaks to the larger issue of that Smith was talking about when he was interrogating Morpheus. When he
Yeah.
said, I've been trying to classify your species, And then when he compared humans to viruses, he said, there's one species that destroys the host. and that's
Yeah.
a virus. So humans are like viruses. And then
Well,
that
I
other
mean,
great line
that's a
where he
whole
was like,
other
"It's the
conversation we can
smell."
get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, but it's, and actually, again, Joe Rogan made this observation. He said this was Joe Rogan did the first comedy special that Netflix ever
Hmm.
broadcast, and
Yep.
it opens with him being driven, and he said something like, "Have you ever seen Earth from high up in the sky?" He said, it looks like wherever there's people, it looks like mold growing.
Right.
Right. And he made some other point about that, but I always found that an interesting comparison because that's what it seems like. It seems like we are incapable of protecting our own habitat because all these people, and Carlin, of course, spoke to this beautifully. He said,
Hmm.
all these people that talk about saving the earth is like, no, no, no. We can't save the earth. We can't harm the earth either. The only thing
Right.
we're doing is fucking up our own habitat. That's what we're
Correct.
doing.
In the big picture, regardless of whether or not we are here on this earth, the earth is going to be here a lot longer than we
That's
are.
right. The earth doesn't need
That's
us.
that's the bottom line. No,
The
it
earth
doesn't.
does not need
It's like
us
any
at all.
it's like any other inanimate fucking object that is going around any other star in any other solar system. Whether we're here or not is not dependent on the Earth's survival. It's not going to
Well,
go
I would
away if we
change
go away.
one word in what you just said. Earth
Okay.
is not inanimate at all. It's got stuff going on it all the
Well, right.
time.
Well,
It's
right,
alive.
right,
This is a living
right,
organism, right?
right.
And so, if humans went away, literally the earth would just reclaim everything we built eventually, right?
Correct.
No matter how big the
Correct.
building, eventually that building, since it's not being maintained anymore, would crumble to the ground and grass would
Right.
grow over it and no one would ever know we were here. That's
Right.
just the sad
That's
fucking fact
correct.
of our place in the universe. And Carl Sagan said it best, because Carl Sagan really said everything best. But when he was being
Yeah.
interviewed, I think by Barbara Walters, perhaps, and he was, I don't remember word for word what he said, but he was basically talking about the vastness of the universe, how the billions and trillions and all these other, things going on in the universe and how many galaxies there were and how many potential universes there were and all this other stuff. And when he finished listing out this beautifully laid out list of things, he said, to think that humans are the reason for all of this is the height of arrogance.
Exactly. No, no, I mean exactly. It's astonishing to me in the time that we live in where we've successfully identified other planets in our solar system where we can look out into the cosmos and see the just like the infantile amount of information that we can grasp from what's around us
I think you
outside
mean
of this ball.
infinitesimal.
Well, no, I mean infantile, and the
Oh,
reason I say that
interesting.
no is because the information that we have, the information that that we've processed, the information that has been available to us since the first human being started writing down on a rock what their observations were of the universe in the universe's time frame is infantile. Okay,
I like it.
I may still be using the wrong word, but
No,
do you understand what I'm
I
saying?
like it. I definitely accept that. You know what?
Okay,
I'm going to call an audible and I'm going to play my
let's do that.
rendition of Pale Blue Dot because I did
All
this
right.
not too long ago. So let's see. Let me find it. I don't think it's particularly long, so which are words that I don't often use. Hi-oh. Anyway. Uh, okay, now I gotta find it. Where is it? Pale, pale, pale blue dot. There it is. Okay. And video, here we go. Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan, 1994. Read by Chocolate Yoddah. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. The earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner, how frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our self-imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. End of Pale Blue Dot. Bingo. I love Carl Sagan.
I mean, that's sorry. I get worked up about this, but like, it's the reality of our situation. It's the reality of, where we are. It's like, the next, the next closest quote unquote possibly habitable planet that we could even imagine to go to is Mars. And I'm not talking the Elon Musk white paper, you know, special K rant fucking ideas he has. Like actual years of NASA looking at putting people on Mars, putting people on the moon as some sort of like established habitat. The problem is we don't have the fundamentals in any of these other places. We don't have the ability to walk outside and just breathe. We don't have the possibility of going outside and finding a stream of water to drink. There's no food and what is our best next step versus sending, coming together as a world and sending a multi-generational vehicle to try to find some other place? Like this is it, guys. This is what we have, and this is, as whatever your political, religious leanings, whatever it may be, this is what we have, and we need to fucking take care of it.
Yeah,
You know,
and I'll ask the rhetorical
that's the bottom
question that Neil
line.
deGrasse Tyson asks, which is, if we can terraform Mars, why don't we terraform Earth?
Exactly. Exactly. Why do we need to give up on Earth to go to Mars? Mars sucks.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, there's a video of him explaining this beautifully, because he talked about how the only time anything gets done in the world has to do with certain factors, and of course people being willing to spend the money on those things. And he talked about the moon launch and that kind of stuff, but you know deGrasse Tyson is a notch below Sagan for me, but he's a brilliant man, and the way he deconstructs things, especially religion, are very fascinating to me.
Well, um, the blue dot speech always reminds me of that infamous picture that was taken from the lunar orbiter. And I forget the astronaut's name because I'm tired but when he took that picture, exactly what Carl Sagan said is, like, in that picture of the small blue dot from the lunar orbiter, and I think it was 1970 or 71 when they took that photo. Every human that has either ever existed or ever, up to that point, that's it. That's this little speck in this massive area of just black. You know what I mean? That's us. Period. And until we realize, until we come together as like a society and realize that that actually has meaning to all of us, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, well, that's because people with greedy self-interests have convinced us that we're different from one another. They've convinced us that we got to be scared of one another. Someone's always coming to get you, right? That's what MAGA
Yeah.
hats are always talking about, right? Because they drill that into their heads. That's the way they train police officers. Oh, anything you do could result in the end of your world, you know?
And
And so when you walk around with that kind of paranoia, of course, you're not going to get anything done.
but see, it amazes me, the paranoia. I'm trying to find the photo, by the way. It amazes me, that level of paranoia, because, like, if we're going to talk about having this paranoia where, oh, something's out to get me, motherfucker, some random fucking rock could hit another rock in the asteroid belt and then come here to Earth, and we, like, you want to talk about paranoia.
How about
you
this?
know
All the sun has to do is burp a little harder than usual, and we're done.
all Yes, exactly. What was it, 1849 was the last massive solar flare that came across the Earth and took out the telegraph system.
Yeah, I remember.
The telegraph
Okay,
was
what year
down,
was
for the
this?
love of God.
This was in 1999. I remember there was a slightly more than average solar activity, and for a few hours I couldn't use my cell phone. So that's just the reality. We're in a precarious situation, but I want to approach this idea in the reverse, right? Because the fact of the matter is the human race has only succeeded so far, because the thing that we're
Yes.
best at is cooperation, right? And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Think about every day of your life, all of the strangers that you trust to facilitate everything that you do. If you're in the city and you get on elevators, you trust that someone has maintained the elevator. If you're,
Right.
escalators, if you're driving on the highway, everyone is cooperating to make sure that we get to our destination safely. People that deliver
Right.
your food, people that make your food, people that grow your food. There's this long list of people that are cooperating every day. But what we get focused on is the tiny percentage of the population that's doing harmful shit. And I understand that
Right.
because it's size versus impact, right? Like we're going to take for granted the cooperation because the negative shit is more noticeable, right? And it's more immediate. So I get that.
Right.
But when you span out, when you focus on the photo that you're showing right now, you understand that
Yeah.
there's 8 billion of us mostly cooperating every single day.
Correct. Except, and in this photo, I forgot the important part of this was in this photo is all of human existence up to this point, except for 3 individuals:
Right.
the 2 that were down on the moon, and the 1 that was in the lunar orbiter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even that, like, just let that sink in for a minute. That there are humans that are outside of this photo. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And, one of the astronauts commented that the interesting thing about orbiting the Earth is that you don't see any lines dividing countries.
Yeah, borders are a human construct.
Mm-hmm.
The maps are a human construct.
Yeah. And they're useful, but then they get
Sure, of
misapplied.
course.
They get misapplied
Yes.
when we believe that these imaginary lines in the dirt actually mean something. Like I
Correct.
said, it's the same as race. Race doesn't mean a
Right.
fucking thing. Countries don't mean a fucking thing. It's just where we live.
They don't.
That's it.
Correct.
And
Correct.
what we're seeing, all the negative shit we're seeing is the result of greed. That's what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
All the exploitation
over
of people, the fact that slavery is one of the biggest industries on the planet, the fact that, they're telling adults that they can't feel good with the substances they want to feel good. That's all horse shit.
Right.
Like, look, I've been clean and sober for 38 years, and I think the fact that these substances are illegal is completely nonsensical. It makes absolutely no sense for these things to be illegal.
And I was talking to some other people earlier on the cord. When I started working for my local government job, I was 19 years old. So, like, I did not get to really experience the whole devil's lettuce kind of stuff, and because I was constantly drug tested, I have a CDL. There's all these restrictions, and I told them, like, the moment I retire, my neighbors who do partake, I'm going to find them and go to their house and be like,
you're going to turn into a
all right,
Rastafarian.
fuck yeah.
We're going to see Traffic Man
It's
with
time to
dreads
fucking
on.
chill. Give me that shit. No, I will not. I will not do the. Oh my God, what is the gentleman's name? He was the actor and the pianist, and he went on Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live.
Adrian Brody.
Yes, Adrian Brody. Remember, he went on Saturday Night Live and he donned dreadlocks, and he was trying to do he did some terrible blackface thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember
That
that.
won't be me. Look it up. It's
Well, I mean,
inappropriate. But
you can grow dreadlocks whenever you want to. All it
he
takes
took it a step
is being
further.
willing never to cut your hair and put it in
There
a
you go.
big twist and all that stuff too. And it's all the purpose of dreadlocks is to mimic a lion's mane.
Okay. I did not know that.
That's all it is. It's just a cultural thing. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? Bob Marley is a hero to the minority culture, and yet he was mixed. He was half and half. His father was a white tea man.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, soldier passing through port and was like, I'm banging whatever I see next.
But yeah, that just goes back to the topic we were talking about earlier. Even was we're all humans, man.
Thank you, Tara and Cherry. I have a head full of useless knowledge. I I have to get it out once in a while.
Well, Tara said that she's the Harley Quinn to my Joker, allegedly, which that's that brings in, if you know anything about that whole comic book thing, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know if Tara knows what she's saying.
Well, I
But
think it's more of a metaphor kind of thing, not literal.
there you go. We'll go with the metaphor. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tara, okay, so see, Tara says I don't know the whole story. Tara, I really think you should look into the whole story because what you just said
Yeah.
is not
Well, the
cool.
crux of it is that relationship is extraordinarily dysfunctional.
There you go.
And
We'll
Harley
go with
Quinn, of
that.
course,
We'll
is a
go with that.
sociopath, and so is the Joker. So
Yes. Yes, we'll go with that.
But metaphorically, I get what she's saying.
Right, right.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Well,
confused about Jerry. She said she's Batman, but wouldn't she be Batgirl?
I don't. Hey, listen, you
yeah,
could
whatever.
identify as whatever you want. You know.
That's right.
Well, I'm just saying, Batgirl was there was a Batgirl or
Sorry.
Batwoman, whatever she was.
Danny is displaying that beautifully done logo for Vet Talk, and of course I'm being a little bit of a bitchy braggart because I did that logo, but I didn't do the eagle part, the dude with the eagle with the arms. I just did the lettering, but I'm still taking credit for the whole thing because that's what kind of hoe I am. But
There you
now
go.
it is the first Sunday. Technically, it's after midnight, so it is the first Sunday of the month. So please, everybody, remember that Vet Talk is happening tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, and figure it out for your goofy time zone.
Thank you for the PSA.
Of course.
Also, just to clarify, there is a Batwoman and a Batgirl.
Correct.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's not bore
I like
Yoda with
I
all
actually
the comic
love
book
I
stories.
love the illustrated Batwoman because animators they can draw women in proportions that don't exist in reality, and I always love that shit.
You know, listen, when I was a kid back in the 90s, Marvel Comics did I don't remember what they called the series, but it was like a very artistic uh, comic book rendering.
Hmm.
And, all of the men were depicted with like 12-pack abs, but it was like legitimate art. It wasn't that comic book. It was like actual paintings per
Right.
panel,
Yeah,
and
I
the
think they
women were
refer to those
depicted.
as graphic novels.
I think it was before the term graphic novel became a thing.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and the women were always depicted as like every woman, whether it was superhero or villain, whatever, was this like supermodel level body.
Oh, much better than
uh you
supermodels.
know
I don't like supermodels at all because they look like pencils. I'm not into that. I like
well, right.
curves.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like there
They
was
were
there
they
was
were
always.
depicted more like
Yes,
strippers.
there you go. Yes, exactly. And it was very intriguing because it, just seeing this, and it was, as a kid, it was like, oh, is this what women are supposed to look like? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's kind of
Well,
what
that's
what they
that's the
portrayed
that's
with
the
that.
one thing that I have against Instagram. And it's not
Oh,
really Instagram itself because they're not making anybody do this, but these women that are
sure.
getting proportions that are just insane. Like
Yes.
let's remember what was it, 1990 or so that Sir Mix-a-Lot said I like big butts, right?
And I cannot lie.
And
Yes.
if you
Yep.
watch that video, there's really no big butts in it. That was what was like the way we think about them now.
Right.
Like these
They,
women have butts that have their own zip code now. It's fucking nuts.
yeah.
You know,
The
and I
artificial
don't
Kim
find that appealing.
Kardashian
I don't find that
implant.
appealing at
You're
all.
right.
Like I dated two women that
Oh, God.
oh bless you. I dated two women that had breast augmentation,
Hmm.
and they were okay to look at, but I didn't like how they felt at all. So I like
Well,
natural.
and see, something since this topic came up about breast augmentation, there's this idea that anybody that goes to get breast augmentation is getting implants, and that's like not the reality
Well,
of
it
it.
could be
You know what I mean?
anything. Could be anything.
You're correct. But to our society, our American society, whenever anybody hears breast augmentation, and listen, I'm guilty of this as well because I knew somebody growing up when I was a late teen where she had breast augmentation surgery, and I was like, I hate to say that. Sorry, I got to say this, Frank, but I was like, holy shit, how could they get any bigger? Right? But that's not what she went for. She went for like constructive surgery to reduce them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think that's a sin. My ex-wife, uh, my my ex-wife
Sorry.
contemplated getting a breast reduction, and I said, "Look, I never tell adults what to do, but I can tell
Right.
you, I'll stop talking to you."
Well, in this specific case, it was leading to other underlying medical issues, and she ended up having this done. And I remember after she had this done, I was like, I don't see a difference.
Well,
I
the thing that I
was
find
like, oh,
funny,
okay.
and there's a comedian who's not with us anymore named Patrice O'Neill that used to talk about this.
Oh,
He's like, oh,
yes.
these women saying that they get breast reductions because their back hurts. It's like, get a back brace.
Yeah, right. Uh,
But actually, the last woman I dated, which I mentioned at the top of this conversation, she had the largest set that I saw in real life that were natural. And I was so happy. I was so happy. When she got on top of me, there was a
listen,
chance that I might smother, and that would be the best way to go out that I can think of.
I'm gonna tell you, and there was a comedian, and I don't remember who it was that said this, but like, I'm happy with all of them, big, little,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on the woman's body composition, right? But in general, I prefer them large. Like I like to start at 36C and work from there. But again, there are some women who are smaller and have smaller breasts, but because of their proportions, they still look great.
Sure.
I just like big jugs. What can I tell you?
I
This
I
is
like all
locker
of them.
room talk, Jerry. Locker
Yeah,
room talk. That's what
I
it is.
was gonna say Chariots after dark. Don't worry about it. It's after midnight.
Yeah.
Well, it after dark starts the moment I wake up. So too bad for anyone
There
who
you go.
needs a designated time for that.
Let me out. Where's the exit?
Where's the exit?
Yeah.
Grandma Carol, can we hear you?
He said
I,
early, I need an adult in the room. No, Grandma
I was
Carol
saying
can't
Oh,
hear
worse
this.
shit, like worse shit than I just said. Not to say that what I'm saying is bad, but I was saying more graphic shit when I was sitting in front of Carol. So,
yeah.
believe me, she can handle it.
This is this. Listen, this is just a layover from last night because I fell asleep on the floor watching the Chiefs game. So I don't hear it.
Don't bring that up.
That's how good they were playing. I fell asleep watching them. I fell-
Does that
Well, it
mean they
wasn't
won or
a
lost, or what
blowout.
does that
It
mean?
wasn't a blowout.
They no, they ended up losing 27-21 against the Chargers.
Okay.
That's right. It wasn't a
Um,
blowout.
no, it was not a blowout,
Listen,
and I will tell
whether
you
you
that
lose by 50 points or 1 point, you still lost.
you still lost. That's right. It's still an L. But I will tell you that special teams hurry up field goal there near the end of the first half. That was fantastic.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Do you want me to go deeper? I can go
Obviously,
deeper.
obviously, he don't give a
I've
fuck,
said
so
that
you
so
can
many
forget
times in my
that part
life.
of it.
Oh dear God.
What, you don't give a fuck or what?
Hey, listen, I gave you that. I gave you that layup. I was hoping you would take it.
There was a comedian, I think it was Richard Pryor. He's like, I understand when a woman says harder, but deeper, I can't go deeper. This is it. This is as far as it reaches.
Oh God.
Well, this has been a fun conversation.
Yeah, we were all over the
Jerry
place
needs
on
an
this.
Yeah,
adult.
that's what Saturday Chill is about, and I think that more and more, this is what my lives are going to be about, because I enjoy this more than the political shit. And again,
Yeah.
I'll always talk about that because it's meaningful to me. But I think I'm not going to focus on it as much as I have been moving forward.
And you know what? I will tell you, the political stuff has really started affecting my personal life. I like not terribly, but I mean it's one of those things where it seems to like always encompass a lot of things that I talk to, like coworkers about stuff like that. And I don't think that's a bad idea to not keep that in mind,
Hold on a
because
second. Hold on a second.
absolutely.
Sorry
Oh,
to
go ahead.
interrupt, but Tara
You
and
know,
Cherry are saying Yoda for president, Yoda 2028. That could be the worst thing that ever happened to America.
I don't know. I don't know. Are you? Have you paid attention?
Yeah,
Listen, you think you want something, but you might not understand what you're asking for.
Listen, Yoda. All I have to say is, if you could give me a cabinet position, I'm there with you.
Yeah, the liquor
I wouldn't
cabinet.
even say VP.
oh,
Yeah,
the
there you go.
liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
That's what he
So
wants. Liquor cabinet.
Cherry and Tara have now joined our
Yoda for
fracas.
president.
Oh
Go
no.
ahead, sell me on the idea of Yoda for president, and then I'll tell you what will really happen. But go ahead.
Who's going
Who
to be
wants
your
to start?
VP?
I don't know yet.
Grandpa Danny.
Probably a
Okay,
stripper,
Grandpa
but go
Dan.
ahead.
Yeah, sure.
So Tara, convince me. What do you think would happen if I became president?
Oh God, there would be so much dirtiness in the world, perversion, more than there is now.
I actually didn't expect that. That's funny. Okay. And Cherry, what do you think would happen if I became president?
I was going more with women would not be able to wear clothes. They'd have to walk around naked, but
Yeah, I don't know if I would mandate that,
they'd
but I would
have to be
certainly
able to read
encourage it.
books.
And look,
Yo-
let's
Yoda
just
would.
say this. I'm going to steal a George Lopez joke, even though I generally don't find George Lopez funny. Because all that comedy is like, hey, white people do this, Latinos do this. Who gives a fuck? Shut up already. But I will steal one of his jokes because he talked about this was like 10 years ago. He talked about how
Hi.
black and brown people are outpopulating the white tea race. And he said, don't
Okay.
worry, when we become the dominant race, we will treat you with the same respect that you've treated us.
I love it.
So that's
There
a
you go.
hint of what might happen if I became president. I'll tell you this. What they were afraid Obama would do is what I would do.
I'm okay with that.
Without pants.
I'm
down.
okay with that.
Me
What
and
did you say,
Tara
Danny?
would
Without
have
pants?
pants.
Yeah, without pants.
Without pants.
Yeah.
All right. I would be the first president that was like, yes, just get used to the fact of seeing my sack swaying in the breeze.
So yeah, the front of his door would be pants optional in a gold
Yeah.
plating.
We're gonna give a whole new terminology to the phrase "the West Wing."
That part.
Yeah, the West Swing.
Yeah,
Swing,
the
not
West
wing.
Swings.
Oh my God, the West,
The West Wing. There you go.
the West Swing.
I
What
love
did we
it.
do, Tara? We brought this conversation to a place that
I mean, it was
Hey,
already there. Let's
listen,
be real.
why not? Yeah.
It was G-rated till your girls came out.
Yeah.
That's so not true.
Mhm.
You were
Yeah.
talking about
Like,
jugs.
Did you not see me saying I need an adult in here?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I would
If
say
me
it
and
was
Terry
a
are
hard
blushing,
R rated.
that's a problem.
Jesus Christ.
And let
I
me tell
couldn't
you,
find
It
the
took a
exit
turn.
door.
once we find a platform when I could speak the way I normally do, it'll be triple X rated every fucking night.
I'm fucking here for it.
I'm here for it.
Yoda would have legislation introduced that would be the big beautiful something, that I can't say on this app.
Jesus. Or BBC.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would.
sorry.
I would. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
There you go. I would.
What?
Yeah, I would change out a lot of the
Am I thinking
holidays.
of the right scene?
Instead of celebrating some ancient bullshit that doesn't mean anything, I'd be like, let's have Vajomatic Day. Let's celebrate that.
There you go.
Code Pink.
Yeah,
Code
exactly. Let's
The
talk
executive
about what
order
really
were-
goes on in the liquor cabinet.
Oh my
Mhm.
God.
Where's Judy when you need
Wait,
her?
we were FaceTiming with Judy before, and she says, I got sugar ants in the cabinet. And we were like, not in the cabinet.
I'm like, Judy, there's too much juices in there. You got
No, she said that. She goes, yeah, there's too many juices in there, you know? We were like, oh
That's beautiful.
my God.
Oh my
That's
God, I can't.
one running
And
joke that
Denise
I
starts
appreciate
yelling at her.
completely.
Denise
Yep.
is like, you're putting everything in Ziplocs. You have too much cereal.
And she's like, who has this much cereal? Are we having a cereal sale?
Judy goes, it was buy one, get one free. What do you want from
Oh, we love our Mama Judy.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
God. She cracks me up. She's a hoot.
It was so funny. I got sugar ants in the cabinet. It's like, not the cabinet.
I think one of my initiatives might be like adopt a YT family, something like that.
Adopt a white.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh my God.
Make them
That's very
experience
Yoda.
seasoned food for the first time in their life.
Seriously.
Excuse me, traffic. I have spices.
She does. Yeah.
But I mean,
I
what
don't.
would happen actually if the supremacists got their way? How boring would America be?
It would be literally mayonnaise.
Yep.
Like
It would
like
be
that's
mayonnaise
my-
and
that's
country
my
music.
explanation.
You know?
No, yeah, exactly.
Literal mayonnaise.
My mother's my sister.
No, it would
You know,
be
like that. That's
It's
where it would
mother
go.
brother.
mother brother.
Mother brother.
What's
Roll
the
Tide.
thing? It would be Miracle Whip, not even mayonnaise.
Oh Lord.
Traffic. Who is
Correct.
it? Who is it?
That's
when he's
even
like, Roll
worse.
Tide? Who did he call?
Like we wouldn't have Hellman's or Dukes. It would just be Miracle Whip.
Miracle.
I never heard of Dukes.
Oh,
Me
you
neither.
need to come to the Midwest. Okay, listen.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, hold on.
No, thank
This
you.
this imaginary day that I come to Brooklyn, and I come,
It's
and I message you and like, hey, let's go eat at like I don't know one of the Italian restaurants. I'll
Mhm.
bring you some Duke's mayonnaise too.
Wait, I feel like I do know what Duke's is.
It's
But I
mayonnaise.
don't know why.
What's
But better.
special about it?
Yeah,
It's not Miracle Whip. Like it has flavor.
that's your selling point, traffic. I'm
That's
disappointed in you.
It has flavor. No, that's my selling point.
Well,
is it
Hellman's has flavor too. You know,
I like
but
Hellman's.
I love
Does
mayo.
it?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a strong flavor, but it's a flavor for sure. It's a
Dukes
there's a
is definitely
specific
a strong flavor.
characteristic. You know, of all the filthy things I've had in my mouth, Hellman's is unique.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
It's mayonnaise for
Good
you.
night, everybody.
I'm gonna shut up.
And
Oh,
just to be clear, I want to just be completely transparent. When I say filthy things, I mean women.
We knew
There you go.
that.
Okay.
Every
Okay.
time
Okay.
Yoda
I was
says
hoping
I
that
need to
way
be
you were going with
transparent,
that.
I'm like, brace
That's why I
yourself.
said, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
About to get worse.
One,
Brace yourself.
after we were dating for a little while, I think maybe we were together like less than a year at this point. My then girlfriend, who became my future ex-wife, said, "You are exhausting."
I love all the future ex-wives you have.
Yeah. Oh, I've had two. I've had two future ex-wives. But listen, I'm not jaded. I'm not bitter. I think I'm still romantic, and I am always on the lookout for my third ex-wife.
Are we
Exactly.
invited to the wedding?
time's a
That's
charm.
the way to look for it. Yep.
Yo,
Just
we
like
would.
make sure we have an invite to the
Oh,
wedding.
of course. Of course.
Hi, Monica.
Down. Hi,
We
Monica.
I'll set
We
up a
would wreck that
special
wedding.
fenced-off section for the KTA
Yeah.
crew.
For us,
That's
Angle
fine.
us in like cattle.
That's special fenced off
you guys
area.
have to stay here.
Oh, you guys can't talk to those people over there. They're in
Right.
trouble.
I'm only a 10-hour car drive away.
There you go.
No big deal.
Only.
Traffic. My brother went to Ohio State. I don't know if you saw me before. I wrote in the comment. I didn't know you lived in
don't care.
Ohio.
I listen. As an Ohioan, I don't care about the Ohio State University.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He
wow.
really does. He really does.
Good for him.
My grandma's from Ohio.
I will say
so
that I've been
technically
to
my roots are from there.
I've been to
Never been.
Columbus, Ohio, and I actually thought it was a nice place.
That's where my
Columbus
grandma was
is a-
raised.
Columbus is a very beautiful, very multicultural city. I implore anybody to go there. Go visit COSI, which is their science museum kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. No,
I mean,
Columbus is a great
it's the
place.
cleanest city I've ever seen.
It
Should we send
God.
the National Guard there then?
So okay. Listen. I'm trying to choose my words.
It
correctly
does
here
have a lot of
because-
crime. It does have a high crime rate,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, well, again, a massive amount of people in a small area. What do you expect? But tried to keep with the let's not get into politics on this live tonight
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
I will say this. It's a great town. That okay, crime happens. I don't know what to tell you, but there's also there's German Village, where there's a lot of fantastic food to eat. There's a Jamaican part of town, and I'm telling you, if you haven't had jerk chicken from there, there's like 2 restaurants in that area. Please go eat at them. Like, it's one of those things where it's like just go experience it, and whatever.
It's like, I'll never do that, but okay.
He's
Jerk
like,
chicken,
I'm not
it's
going
like-
to Ohio for jerk
Yeah,
chicken.
I'm not going to anywhere outside of the tri-state area for food.
No, that's
This
fine. No,
literally
that's fine.
this is the part of the country where every country in the world landed first. So we have all the
Amen.
cuisine. We just
Yes.
have all the fucking cuisine, and we have the original
And they're
versions
good.
of it.
I am planning within the next couple years. I would like to take my family and do kind of a food tour of New York City as a whole, just
Oh, we'll
because
meet
of
up
the
with
fact
you.
that I could go to New York City and enjoy food from around the entire world,
Yeah.
and it's accurate.
And
Yeah.
almost
It's,
all of it
it's
is
not
available 24
Chinese
hours.
food in America,
You
right?
can- yeah, I mean,
exactly.
if you want Chinese food, there's only one
I
place
could
to
order
go.
sushi right now.
There's only one place to go, and that is Wohop on 13 Mott Street. The first time I ever went there was the first time that I walked into a Chinese restaurant that was full of Chinese people eating.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want what I'm used to is Chinese food with like sweet and sour chicken and orange chicken. No. I want like actual legit Chinese food.
Yeah, what a lot of Chinese restaurants in America are basically the equivalent of McDonald's, because
They're like
they've
gift
watered down their menu to include as many people. Like, they've added things like fried chicken and French fries and shit like that.
Right.
It's like, you're not serving real Chinese food, So I like to
Right.
go to the authentic places.
Look
Great,
at little
guys,
Connor.
you have to make me big for a minute. I want to show you guys this how badass he looks.
Look at little Connor.
Oh,
One second. Expand.
How
Okay,
badass
there you
he
go.
looks.
So cute.
Was that not cool?
Oh yeah.
On the right.
Good.
Check him out.
Yeah,
So
he
cute.
looked good.
nice.
He does,
Is
right?
this an
Yeah.
actual fight that's going to happen?
It's in Syracuse, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn. That's
Yeah.
Nice.
He's
It's
a
for a
little
belt.
badass.
he
He's,
is.
it's
Now,
for a belt, Grandpa.
is it my right or their right that I'm looking at?
It's the redheaded.
The one with
guy.
the band on his head.
Yeah.
And the
gotcha.
necklace, the leg.
Angry
The leg.
monkey.
Yep.
Now, is
We
this
love it.
is this
There you
boxing
go.
or something else or martial arts?
Muay Thai.
Hey,
Muay Thai.
Manny.
Holy shit!
Muay
Muay Thai is
Thai,
brutal.
yeah.
Oh my
Right?
god. Yeah,
He's,
Muay Thai is
kids do
crazy.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure you that.
remember when I looked into Muay Thai and like some of the things that they do for conditioning, especially their shins. I was like, you people are out of your
Yep.
fucking minds, man.
He's been training for the past month and a half, 5 days a week.
Good for him.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
martial
He's
arts
like
changed my life.
13.
It changed my entire life.
He used to play football, Yoda, and like the schedules were just so like we would leave Muay Thai and run to football, and he was like, I really just want to, and I was really iffy about him just focusing on Muay Thai, and his coach was like, he's been doing it for like 7 years. He could actually make a career out of this. I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
and he went
Yeah,
with
I
that.
actually didn't know when I was in martial arts. I didn't know that that option existed to like become a stuntman or become a fight coordinator and shit like that.
No?
Because I was
Oh my
I was
God.
really into it. Like it was my whole life for a while,
Wow.
and you know, and I wouldn't change it. I mean, it's 48 years and I'm in it now, and
Well, if we
Yeah.
ever have a fight out that way, Yoda, I'll expect you to come. I'll let you know. You can
yeah,
come.
that would be
Yeah.
great.
We'll
That would
get
be
you a
great.
Team
I-
Connor t-shirt.
I do have a question, and I'm going to quote, I forget the actor's name, but from Blazing Saddles, forget that shit.
Mungo.
Yeah, right. The
Trivia.
original John's Deli.
He's still
Are
talking
you
about
familiar
food.
with that place, Yoda?
He's
The
still on food.
original John's
You
Deli.
hungry, boy?
I've never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's on my list of New York restaurants, and one of them, and
Yeah, I mean,
the
look,
original
New
John's
York
is in
City has the
Brooklyn.
most restaurants of any city in the world.
Yeah, it's insane.
So
Yeah.
you know, the you could. I think someone talked about like just never having to go to the same restaurant twice for your entire life.
Sure.
If
Gotta
you,
go to
you know,
Katz's Deli.
Cat's
I
Deli is
guess
amazing. Yeah.
So good.
well, I was gonna say I'm looking for like Italian deli sandwich kind of places, and you know, because I see a lot, but you know, that's
Subway.
just
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Traffic, you
All
have
right,
to come to
all right, bye,
Montreal and have
Tara.
smoked
Have
meat.
a good night. Off the panel.
Just kidding.
Traffic, you have to come to Montreal and have smoked meat. We have the best smoked meat sandwiches in Montreal.
No, you don't.
We do. Yes, we do.
No, you
Shut up.
don't.
What's a smoked meat sandwich?
You've never had smoked meat?
Like cooked meat? Like,
Well,
what-
yeah.
I can see.
What
I
you're
can see
smoking
Yoda.
before you eat the
Yoda's
meat.
trying not to make a joke here.
no, I'm not. I'm listening to
Sorry.
people argue about meat. It's hilarious.
Food. Yeah. Yeah. No,
What kind
To
of
be
we
fair,
have,
I
we,
didn't argue.
no.
Traffic
Hey,
started.
all meat tastes good when you're smoking. So don't worry about
There
it.
you go.
Huh?
We have the
Grandpa.
best smoked
There
meat
you
in
go.
Ohio. I'm sorry, or in the United States. Sorry.
Okay, traffic. You think that?
Yeah, please, traffic. Go hit a golf ball.
I remember when I visited my mother when she first moved to Florida, and I was like, all right, I want to go to an Italian restaurant, and she said Olive Garden, and it was the first time that I
No.
legitimately wanted to punch my mother in the face. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's not Italian
But
food.
you get unlimited
so funny.
unlimited
Oh, they're
salad and
breadsticks, though. No joke.
He still
That's
wanted to punch her in the
hilarious.
face.
No, I found that
Italian food.
offensive. Like, you know, I
so
was
funny.
I was I
could
was
see his
raised
face,
when
too.
they moved me
Yep.
onto Long Island. We lived next to an Italian family, right? And the first time they
Where'd you
invited
live
us
on Long
over
Island?
for Sunday dinner, they were like, "Oh yeah, get here at 3:00." And I'm like, 3:00? I thought dinner was
Oh,
like
yeah.
6, right? But then, like, you know, we saw what they were doing, and you know, so I got used to authentic Italian food, and then eventually I married an Italian woman. And so, like, I know what authentic Italian food is. So when you tell me to go to the McDonald's of Italian food, I find that offensive.
Where'd you grow up? Where'd you live on Long Island? I didn't know.
A few places. It was mostly, like, let's say, Malvern and Valley Stream. Those were the two main towns.
I grew up in
Okay.
well, I lived in Comac and Dix Hills, like Huntington,
My condolences.
is where I grew up. What?
I said my condolences
Why? It's
because
fine.
Long Island sucks.
It was fine. Now I live in Manhattan.
Yeah. No, I find Long Island to be a complete wasteland. But, you know, I have different reasons for saying that. My experience there, I'm sure, was vastly different than yours.
Maybe. Probably. We'll get into that another day.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Long Island is that it's sort of like a cultureless place because, you know, there's everything is sort of secondhand is, you know, I just,
It's just like
I'm
suburbia.
so glad. Like I only go there, for significant reasons. Like if, like my best female friend lives out there and like when she got married, I went there. But other than shit like that, I have no reason to go there.
I only go to see my family or like if I'm going to the beach because it's easier from there.
Right. Right.
You know, but yes, I agree. It's just
And their
a
beaches are
suburbia.
trash too. I mean, I remember
Oh, I
when
haven't done in years.
when I went
but
back to the Dominican Republic for the first time, I think I was around 8 years old, and you know, I had only experienced, you know, beaches in the tri-state at that point, and you know, which are just sewage facilities essentially, you know. And then you go there and the water's pristine and it actually smells like the ocean instead of sewage overflow. So,
Right.
yeah.
Agreed. But that's all we had, right? So
Yeah, it wasn't my choice to go there. And, you know, unfortunately, my mother and stepfather didn't factor me into the move and they put me in a school system that was all YT. And that sucked big hairy balls.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But
no
I
fun.
survived.
Dix Hills was at like my high school was actually very diverse because there were like 5 different towns that went to my high school.
Yeah, in my high school, I was a diversity.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, if you see my high school yearbook, I'm the lone pepper in a sea of salt.
Peppas.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. It all worked out. All right, folks, we're
There
at
you
the
go.
2 hour and 49-minute mark, and I am hungry because I am fat. So let's start doing final thoughts. Tara, what is your final thought for the evening?
Oh. I love you guys. And I'm tired. And love laughing. Love the laughing.
There you go. Excellent. Fantastic. So I'm off tomorrow, more than likely. I usually take Sundays off, but I'll be back Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You're always welcome, of course.
Sir.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, Cherry,
Bye,
final
Tara.
thoughts.
I was only up here for a short time, but it's always nice to join you guys and have some laughs. So thank you for that. Grandpa, Traffic, Yoda, always a good time, and love you guys and have a good night.
All right. Good night.
And
All right, Chewy, final thoughts, sir. I hope you for a little while felt a little better.
Yeah, nice to just kind of forget all the BS going on for a while.
That's what I'm here
Just-
for. That's what I'm here
Yeah.
for. So good. Well, I'm glad you
Nice to
joined
kinda
us.
forget it.
I'm glad you opened up and let us know what was going on, and I'm glad that you gave us the opportunity to cheer you up for a little while.
No, I appreciate it all. I appreciate everyone that came in and chatted, and I hope everyone has a good night and a good day tomorrow.
All right, have a good night.
You too, Chewy.
And Traffic Man, final thoughts, please.
Fantastic live again. You know, these Saturdays are something I look forward to. You know, to kind of decompress from the world around us because it's just a fun time.
Yeah.
So,
And that's my
absolutely.
policy moving forward is following Danny's game. I don't want to get into all the shit that I usually talk about. I want to do
Right.
Casual Friday. Then I'm doing Saturday chill, and that's how it's going to be moving
Awesome.
forward.
I appreciate that a lot. Really,
All right,
I do.
brother.
So
Well, have a great night,
have a
man.
good
Thanks
night,
for
sir.
being up here.
Yeah, have a good night, Danny,
All
and
right.
everybody
night.
else. Yep, have a good night.
All right, Danny, my older brother from another mother, last man standing as always. What are your final thoughts, sir?
It was incredible good time. I was laughing. I had to mute my mic a few times because I was laughing so much what was
Yeah.
going on. And I just turned my headphones off for the last 20 or 30 minutes so grandma could hear the
Oh, nice.
discussion. But it was good, and I really appreciate. I have to agree with you. What you did for Fridays now and now doing it on Saturday makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
when we leave my life, we're all in such a high
Yeah.
of having a good time and laughing that it need to continue it on
Yeah, I
over the
feel kind
weekend.
of dumb for not thinking of it earlier, but it's just the most obvious thing. Like, why shift gears into negative shit when I could just keep riding
Right,
it for the rest of the weekend?
right. And of course, tomorrow I'll be doing, or today for you already,
Yeah.
I'll be doing Vet Talk, which is veterans helping veterans. And that goes on at 3 p.m. Pacific and my time. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm only doing it on 2 Sundays a month, first and third Sundays. So this will be the first one for this month. So I hope to get a few veterans to pop in. If not, I'm sure there'll be some other people, friends that'll pop in and
Yeah.
we'll chit chat anyway. But anyway, and then Monday I'm back to my regular schedule of the way of positive change with Grandpa Danny at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I hope to see everybody there for that. Uh, Unfortunately, I hope we won't have any real bad news on Monday.
Yeah.
What's going on? But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
thanks for having me up.
absolutely. Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Have a great night.
You too. Get something to eat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'll definitely be at Vet Talk because, as I said before, anything Danny does online, I'm going to be there. If he says he's going to read the phone book, I'll be there. If he says he's going to fart for 2 hours, I'll be there. I don't care what it is. I'm attached at the hip moving forward. So anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and with us. The panel, always extraordinary. I just I never want to take it for granted, but it just seems like a certainty when you folks come up that we're going to have a good time. So thank you for all of that. Thank you for the likes, the taps, the shares, the comments, the gifts, all of it. And as always, until we meet again, peace, love, and granola. Talk to you soon.